Oh, his face-off percentage is
these
fucking
people-
0.
Riley's face-on. They need to trade
Oh
him
my
right
God.
now. He's so bad at
Jesus
hockey.
Christ, the 0%?
You're listening to the Draft in Hand podcast with your hosts, Greg, Ian, and Mark.
On a broadcast this week, Joe Bowen, Leafs play-by-play on the radio, commented that Matthews' release was so quick that he doesn't have time to say his name before the puck's in the net.
Ooh, that could have gone a little different ways with that word. Where you started that sentence.
Hey, everybody. I'm Greg. There's Ian.
Yo.
There's Mark.
Yeah, that's me.
Welcome to the show. We're talking about sports. Welcome to our slightly below-average podcast. How's everyone doing today?
I'm fucking pissed. I had the shovel. I didn't realize we got this much snow this morning. So I get up. I go look outside. I'm like, fuck, there's snow on the ground.
I feel like last time we did our last podcast, last Monday, it was on the eve of the big snowfall. Last time we recorded, there was no snow on the ground, barely, and now it's a shit ton.
Yeah, now there's just too much. But I didn't realize that it was going to be super wet this morning, so I go out, start shoveling. It's raining. Get like half my driveway done, and I realize I don't even fucking work in the rain like at my real job. Why the fuck am I doing this right now?
Why am I not getting? Why am I slave?
I'm not even getting paid right now, and I'm fucking working in the rain. So I just put the shovel down. I went and smoked some weed and played some video games.
Get nice and moist.
Yeah,
damp.
Prepping up for what we're doing right now.
There you
Got the
go.
little pregame done. Ate a nice little half steak for lunch. Ready to
Wow,
go.
look at you.
Yeah.
I had some soup.
Oh, that's less exciting.
Yeah, I know. It's good soup.
I had bacon and tomato sandwich.
Oh, look at you, big boy.
Is it like real bacon or microwave bacon?
Real bacon?
That's good.
Bacon.
Why would I ever microwave
I don't
bacon?
know. Sometimes you got that like
That's
ready
sacrilege.
bacon.
That's
Yeah, I know.
sacrilege.
Yeah,
That's
it
like
is.
that stuff's like paper thin too. Like
I know.
It's like the shit that you get on your
Tim's
Tim's
bagel.
stuff. Yeah.
Or one of our listeners right now is like just looking at their microwaved bacon with a frowny face and just like stepping on the garbage thing and
he
dumping
made it.
in.
He made it with a smiley face at first, and he's hearing this, and he's just like,
turning it into a frowny face. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, hey, there's maybe to warm you up a little bit on the inside, not just pitchers and catchers, but you have teams starting to report now for Major League Baseball. We saw some photos out there on social media this morning of Springer in a Jays uniform and Vladdy pointing at the camera because Vladdy always points to the
ooh,
camera.
I saw like a 20-second video of people just catching, and you heard the glove snap of the ball hitting the glove, and it was like,
You got aroused.
baseball porn.
Mark got aroused.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
I had to close the door.
Mark's like, is this a baseball bat?
Yeah, it's not that big.
Oh, wood.
Maybe.
And
Bamboo.
but we're also in February, and for the first time since the pandemic hit almost a year ago now, you got curling going on, the Scottish Tournament of Hearts, 18 teams. If you're in the States, you don't know what the Scottish Tournament of Heart is.
Canada beat Yukon yesterday. It was like 15 to something.
Oh yeah, some team got 15 points on a team.
Yeah, so this
I was
is
like, how?
This is the Canadian National Women's Curling Championship.
Yep.
So
I feel like it's hard to give up that many points in a curling match.
if you tried.
Yeah, they probably were trying not to.
Yeah,
It's funny seeing like the demographic of like the different players. Like you have one team that's like all like 50 plus, and then you have another team that's probably all under 20.
Oh yeah. This. So usually, what happens? The structure of this tournament. If you're not familiar with the Scottish Tournament of Hearts, or the Briar, which is the men's version, which happens in a week and a half from now. It's usually like there's like a week break, and they're within a few weeks of each other. So it's basically each province and territory. I think Nunavut, Northwest Territories is combined.
No, none of it's in this year.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Good for that. And I know Northern Ontario has a team. Usually on the women's side, Northern Ontario doesn't.
Oh, really?
But on the men's, there's always been Northern Ontario.
Well, yeah, it's always been like Jacobs.
Yeah. So each province has an entry, and they win their way out of their province. They make it to the Scottish Tournament of Hearts. There's a 3 wild card teams, I think, this year too. So there's a total of 18, which is because it's in a bubble. It's in Calgary. They did their own tournament bubble, so
Yeah, they can manage it better.
So there's curling on constantly. So that's fun. Not that we're going to talk about curling anymore. I haven't watched it.
And usually the winner of the
that
Briar
carefully.
and the Scotties in an Olympic year would represent Canada at the Olympics.
No, that's a different tournament. That's a qualifier.
No,
That's
isn't it? No, isn't the Scotties the one who represents
No,
Canada?
they have a totally different entry.
Yeah, they do a different
tournament.
Well, I was wrong.
It's
because the qualifying it's a good
it's not
question,
it's not
though.
for the Olympics though. They use those for just the worlds in general, like the world championships.
Yes, they use it for world championships, not.
but not.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. But it's still used to represent Canada, no?
Because for the Olympic qualifier, what they'll do is they might have multiple entries from like Manitoba. Like
they're just going to have the best of the best versus each other.
As opposed to like the best of the provinces.
Yeah,
it's a little less of a
like none of it having a
thing.
team in is like still probably Ontario probably has like 8 teams better than none of its best.
Yeah, sorry. No. All the territories and PEI, I think, for that. Like there's some of the smaller
I got you.
Well, last year PEI's team for the men's was like a Quebec team.
Oh yeah,
it allows more of
there was a controversy
best on best where it's just best province versus province.
Yeah, and that tournament's also intense. Like
that'd be 10 times more intense.
Crazy good. Yo, curling.
And they're not even playing for money there. They're just playing to go to a fucking tournament, another tournament.
Playing for glory, eternal glory.
Yeah,
Olympic glory. What else, guys? It's been kind of a.
Golf went to a playoff this weekend.
Kind of an interesting
Genesis.
Okay, I watched the very last hole.
So the playoff,
and the guy missed a putt.
Oh, the guy missed a 3-footer.
To send it to a playoff?
No, to win.
Oh,
to
my
outright
God.
win.
Yeah. I'm like, wow, I could do that.
The guy still won, though.
Yeah, he did. Good for him.
He still won, though. Finau still hasn't been able to fucking win yet. He's been really good this year.
Who won this one?
Max Homa, I think.
Okay, is he the guy that was... I saw a tweet today earlier, and is he the guy that's been trying to get a high five from Tiger for the past decade?
Yes.
And then he finally got Tiger's attention by way of Tiger Woods handing him a trophy.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Because the Genesis is like is a tournament like Tiger hosts, because he's won it, I think, like a bajillion times because he's Tiger Woods.
Damn, he's old.
But yeah, he's had the chance to like
really
meet him, like, but he like had a chance to meet it before, but he's like doesn't feel like he earned it, and then now he's like got the chance to like actually meet Tiger, and it's winning his tournament.
What's more special,
exactly.
the trophy or the guy handing you the trophy?
Exactly.
We know the answer, but
Both.
That's kind of that's awesome. That's sweet.
Yeah, the guy broke down after winning it too. It was actually pretty cool.
That's good.
That's probably one of his life dreams.
Yeah. He's a good golfer too. Fuck.
How old is he?
I think he's 23, 24.
Yeah,
whatever.
He's young.
But I feel bad for Finau because I don't think he's won on tour yet, but he's finished second. He's been top 5 so often. He's like just this close from winning, but he's still like
millimeters.
He's like top 15 in the world and he hasn't won a tournament. Shows you how consistent he is.
Yeah, there's something to be said about consistency, like this podcast. Consistently below average. Hey, what about the Chell? There's things going on. Hey, you know who I watched this week? I didn't
Florida?
No, I didn't. I found myself watching an Islanders Sabres game.
That sounds exciting.
Yeah, I know, but I was just like, man, I'm having fun watching Ilya Sorokin. First win, first shutout. He got off to a bit of a rocky start. His first...
Oh, he's a rookie still, right?
His first... Okay, so imagine this. His first NHL start. This is the Russian goalie. I think he's 23, 24. Best NHL goalie, as they say, outside the NHL until this year, apparently, prospect-wise. His first NHL start, though, was earlier this year. Didn't have a great performance because he found out in warm-up when...
Varlamov got shot in the throat with a puck.
That he was starting. It's like, hey, by the way, yeah, you're supposed to be a backup for the first few games.
Our starter's dead now.
Yeah, now our starter can't move his arms, so, 20 minutes before puck drop or whatever. Hey, you're in, kid. So
yeah, good luck. Have fun.
But I found it was fun to watch. He keeps his hands really far in front of him, like a little bit abnormal. Yeah, like as a goaltenders, they hold their hands. You got to hold your hands out. But
like he was reaching more.
A little more forwards, yeah. And he stands a little deeper in his net, so a little closer to the goal line, which allows him. He's bigger than he looks. I looked him up. I'm like, this guy doesn't look like he's like a big guy. 6'3". That's pretty
average
big.
Now.
Yeah, exactly, average. But he's staying back in his crease, staying back in his net towards the goal line. He made a few post-to-post saves against. I think he shut the door on Taylor Hall and a couple. Maybe not Taylor Hall. I don't know if Taylor Hall's playing. A couple Sabre players, and those post-to-post saves. It's like how those saves where they just get a piece of it.
Yeah.
No, he was slamming the door.
Oh, fuck.
Like,
I'd be pissed if that's happened to me.
Like, no, you're not scoring. Like, just slamming the door on.
It's like, now what should we do?
So he's getting his confidence in net.
Yeah, it was multiple.
Plan A through D can't work for Buffalo. They're fucked now.
Yeah, exactly. So good for Ilya Sorokin and the New York Islanders. First career win. It was a shutout. I know it was the Sabres. That was right. That was the game where the guy was tweeting, "Hey, my grandmother's poster is in the stands. I want to come get it so she doesn't have to watch this crap anymore." If you saw that tweet going around, it was after that game that came out. So
I saw in that division, friggin' them Pittsburgh and Philly are all tied at 19 points now after this week.
Islanders?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll throw I got a few of these fun facts I'll save for later.
No.
Speaking of that division, there's only one team in the East that has a positive goal differential.
Is it Boston?
Boston's the only team with a positive. There's a couple teams that are even, and the rest are just negative, just by a little bit. But, yo, damn, Boston.
A lot of close games in that division.
Washington's down 2.
Well, not the outdoor game.
Philly's even. Pittsburgh's down 2. Islanders are even. Rangers are down 2. Jersey's down 1, and then Buffalo's down like 8.
And what's Boston's positive ranking?
15.
There you go. So Boston's.
Yeah, but it must be nice having Tuukka Rask and Jaroslav Halak.
Yeah, it must be nice. I still like watching Rask too.
I like watching Rask. I don't like watching Rask because it usually insinuates your team's going to lose, but...
You're correct.
The only reason I'm watching Boston is because they're playing someone that I like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Rask is so fun just because the way he's just so... His upper body is so over top of his pads.
Yeah.
He looks like he's so in... He looks like he's in the driver's seat constantly. Which is really cool. Like he's
already driving a fucking big ass truck.
Yeah, it looks like he's driving like a snowmobile the way he's like over top of his pads, which is great. That's further cutting down the angle a little bit, and it puts all of the weight on his toes, makes it really hard to push, really easy to go laterally, which he does really well. So
you say you have to have less weight to transfer.
Yeah, it's just try jumping off your heels. You can't. When you jump off your toes. That's where you get your push.
I don't think I've ever tried that, but that makes sense because there's
no push. Your heels aren't a springboard.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try it.
So you want to
maybe not in these boots.
So
probably try it barefoot.
There you go. Okay, guys, let's get this out of the way.
Which one?
Okay, let's get this out of the way. There's a story this week. Let's get this out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just get this.
Phoenix.
Hang on. So listen, if you were going to tell me that there's a certain team in the world in some league somewhere, and these are in no particular order, but some team has declined to expense team pizza, haggles regularly with vendors regarding invoices, has profane-laced boardroom outbursts, has a high rate of team employee turnover, has sexual harassment claims against them, has drafted a convicted person, and has not played player bonuses on time. Would you believe that would be A, some sort of junior C hockey team in somewhere on Ontario, B, some football team in South America, Division 5, or C, a team in the top league in their sport in North America?
Oh, it's definitely C.
It's definitely, man, when you start reading this story,
I'd think some if you hear you don't have a team to it, you'd think it'd be like a KHL team or something like that.
That's what I mean.
Or like some Div 2, Div 3 soccer European team or something like that.
Like I said, South America, man. Not to take a shot at South America, it just seems like there's some fudgy stuff going on there. But not a pro North American team, not just a pro North American team. North America is, compared to the rest of the world, North American sports are known to, the teams themselves have a reputation of paying their players on time. Compared to the rest of the world, North America is a standout in pro sport at that. And the Arizona Coyotes have had a light shone on them. So Katie Strang... A
spotlight, not a light.
There's
the fucking sun shone on them. Holy fuck.
Katie Strang of The Athletic had an article come out this past week, and I know a lot of people have talked about it, but we just want to chomp at the bit here just a little bit too, because this is such a huge story. Fantastic article from The Athletic. So if you haven't read that story, if you haven't had a glimpse at it, please have a look at it. Please look into it a little bit more because it's incredible. And the more we can bring this situation into light, I know with the small platform that we have, we're going to do our best because really,
this
Arizona, he's, I think there's a lot of things you could say about him. So lawyers, the article says that lawyers had become involved regarding the accuracy of financial filings towards banks from the Arizona ownership. There are allocations that there are financial, or the accuracy of the financial reporting towards the league is coming under question. There's also questions about workplace culture, how closely they followed COVID-19 protocols, how they're dealing with some of the employees that they've let go, some of the separation packages. Are
they bargaining those too?
I don't know. I have no idea. But as soon as it's like, hey, I'm not really interested in the Arizona Coyotes, I don't really want to hear this article. Well, guess what? If they are filing inaccurate financial numbers to the NHL,
yeah, that's affecting the whole league.
That affects your favorite team, whoever's listening. The Toronto Maple Leafs, Detroit Red Wings, Philadelphia Flyers, name a team.
It affects the entire league.
It affects every player.
It's bad image,
and the
too.
fact that he directly quotes himself saying that he needs the fucking he's gonna need the expansion money tells you they're in a bad place.
Dude, if you let me just finish that one thought.
Oh, we're banking on the expansion money. I was like, so you don't have any
I feel like that's the only reason he took over as owner.
Oh my God.
It's because he knew that expansion money was coming back to him. And then he's just going to dumpster it.
You know what? I don't think that Arizona is the only team that's counting on that expansion money to help them out a little bit.
No.
But the fact that he came out
publicly
and said that, you just know that this team, there's a lot of things that are not okay going on in Arizona. With regards to league and filings, because the league finances are all tied together, that affects the salary cap. So that's the direct impact. So if Arizona is fudging numbers, that affects
what the end result is.
No, how pissed off would you be if you were, we're in Toronto, okay? Not to make Toronto the center of the story.
Toronto is the center of the hockey market, though.
If you were Tannenbaum or anybody on the MLSE board, you would have Gary Bettman on the phone right away. Our GM, our financial team are pinching every dollar out of this cap in order to make this work. They're sending Jason Spezza on waivers just to clear out X $1,000 on that one day to fit stuff into the cap later on, to fit players to make transactions. And you have this horseshit organization, this owner in quotation marks, down in Arizona pulling this bullshit.
I wonder if he even knows the rules of hockey.
He doesn't.
Dude, so in the article, let's go back to the article.
His son didn't even know what the fucking salary cap was. And he's hired to be a part of the hockey operation.
That pisses... Guys, any one of us could do a better job than his son.
Well,
dead serious.
I know, but
I'm not even joking. It's funny, but it's terrible.
They said when they were hiring their new GMs, people that went to the interview, they were under the impression that the guys that were interviewing them knew not one thing about the actual job.
They showed a lack of awareness of the requirements needed to be a GM in the NHL.
Yeah.
That is atrocious.
This guy's just I think I'm going to get money doing this. I'm going to try.
His son's title is Advisor of Business and Hockey Operations. The fuck he knows how to do any of that.
If he doesn't know what the salary cap is.
In the article, they say he spends more time on YouTube
in
the office watching they said, unrelated hockey shit.
Yeah, they said generally you can just see him watching
fucking
YouTube videos.
Jesus Christ. I'd be so pissed. Even all those people dying to get jobs in the hockey world.
Daddy's money.
How many people?
Piece of shit.
No, but how many people have left that company since he's taken over? I really want to know a full number.
They said. So I was listening to the Steve Dangle podcast. They had Katie Strang on earlier this. I guess it's last week now. One of their more recent episodes. She said that this interviewing all these people and gathering the information for this article took about 5 months.
Yeah. Probably. Well,
so you can go listen to that interview for that
stuff just kept popping up as she's doing the article too.
That's what she said, and she interviewed over 50. I can't remember.
Employees,
at least 50,
and a bunch of people didn't even want to talk to her.
Employees and former employees. So you got to be, just to clarify. Yeah. But correct. So this information isn't coming from one or two sources. It's coming from
multiple
dozen.
A lot.
What a disaster. And the GM interview, it seems like they're trying to run an NHL, a professional sport franchise, the same way they run a pizza chain.
I was gonna say a sweatshop.
Yeah. Guys, thoughts?
Pizza shops are pretty hotty, and you do sweat a lot cooking pizza.
No, but yeah, like the guy seems to be a successful businessman.
Yep.
But he knows nothing about running.
Yeah,
that's a good analogy, Mark.
He knows nothing about running NHL hockey team. Yeah,
you need to have
franchise.
Like a loyal companionship with your other owners in an organization. Or else nobody's gonna like you.
A family?
Nobody's gonna train. You think anybody's gonna help this guy out now?
The start of this,
no.
I hope
but
not.
the start of the article, they said back in 2011 or 2012, he tried to get an NBA or MLB team.
Oh, he tried to acquire another franchise in another organization at some point. I can't remember the team, but yes.
Yeah, and then
the league basically told him
league's
no.
like, no, you don't have the capital to do this.
Yes.
Well, the NHL is the smallest market of all the sports.
Yeah.
So you need the
four.
least amount of capital to own a team.
Well, it kind of makes
That
you
isn't
wonder,
the Toronto Maple
did he
Leafs.
have capital to do this, or was it like, what sort of, did he take out loans? What sort of, because you can fudge your numbers that I have future capital and you can use your future capital because he has 50 pizza chains or whatever and real estate.
And he owns a bank.
Sure. And
if he shows
sure.
that he's expanding, that means you're going to make money.
Yeah, you have
Potential.
You're using your future money.
Yeah.
It just sounds like
Fudging it.
he put out a lot of bets and he lost every single bet.
Well, okay, so that kind of makes me wonder how much the pandemic affected this guy, the owner's business.
His other businesses?
Well, that's where he's getting his money from. So real estate, pizza, which is a restaurant, and casinos are three big ones of his.
Yep.
So he probably lost a shitload of money, but
Pizza's probably
it's not
fine.
my problem.
Oh,
You
no,
fucked
it's
up
not.
with your money.
It just, you're like, man,
like,
man, did this guy really overextend himself?
Probably at the wrong time.
the way it sounds like it.
And just the hockey team is getting the brunt of it.
Well, he also
Because-
tried to acquire the
It's
worst.
probably his fourth favorite ownership that he has. His least favorite thing that he wants
In that
to
list,
spend
in
money
that
on.
list of four things we named, Marulo's fourth
Yeah.
favorite, yeah, could be. But what a disaster! I feel bad for I feel terrible for the employees, current and former.
Except for Armstrong. He sounds like an idiot.
he sounds like
Oh, the new GM?
Yeah.
Yeah, he sounds like a fucking dick.
yeah.
So I don't feel sorry for him.
Like throwing that lady under the bus, the one who even
Yeah.
told him not to draft the
Yep.
kid.
Yeah, you want to just expand on that a bit more, Mark?
She was some she's like a mental coach or so, like
Yeah,
a mental
with the
health
team.
with the team, and she advised the team not to draft. I forget the kid's name, but
Doesn't
he's
matter.
the guy.
Miller
the guy.
something
Yeah.
Miller.
And then
Mitchell Miller.
after they
Yep.
draft him, they came out that they started throwing her under the bus, saying that she kind of told them that he was a good pick and he's changed.
which is
completely opposite
of
of
what
what
she
she
actually
told.
said.
Yeah,
So basically, this scumbag
it's
that was responsible for drafting him threw someone under the bus
who's been working with the league team for years too.
and had no business being even in the conversation, let alone, it's just how scummy are these people
Exactly.
running this organization? I don't know if there's any words just reading the article, I would get.
Would you want to work for them? No.
No.
I don't think anybody's just from reading that. I don't think anybody would want to go work for them.
They
Like-
lost $53 million
Like you said it
the
earlier.
year before
You said it
he joined.
earlier. Like
Toilet.
they weren't allowed fucking pizza after a fucking game.
So the pizza
Like-
was for
if
intermission.
I'm a player on another team, I feel terrible. I can't even chirp them.
No.
You feel bad.
Yeah.
Usually that's something you could be like, "Huh, you guys didn't get pizza." Blah blah.
well,
blah.
no,
That's
the
just,
pizza wasn't after the game. It was because it was going into
Yeah,
OT.
yeah, I know,
They
but-
wanted
bubble.
the extra
Yeah.
carbs.
Yeah, you can't order from that pizza place because you got to order from my pizza place.
Yeah, you don't have one in Edmonton.
Fucking idiot.
I
Yeah.
just was
And
astonishing.
that wasn't the
Just
owner.
astonishing,
That was the
incredible.
CEO or whatever.
Who's taking
the other guy?
direction
I don't remember the names, and I can't say them either.
Yeah,
so I'm not gonna
fuck
try.
face 1, fuck face 2,
And fuck face's
3,
kid.
and son of fuck
they're
face.
they're not signing a free agent in the next forever.
No, They can't
They're
attract
not
anyone
winning
there.
a trade ever. They're not going to get anybody helped out for cap compliance things anymore.
No.
Well,
They're fucked until ownership changes again,
It-
or they relocate.
Or
Hopefully they relocate.
So in 25 years, right? Okay, so I feel bad for the employees of the organization because
and the fans. That's it, and the players
and their fans.
Yeah,
there are loyal fans that have been loyal fans forever.
Yeah,
25 years in Arizona, Phoenix-ish.
I think a little longer than that.
A couple decades at least. Anyway, at least 25 years, approximately. Yeah. Right, and the team, they've tried. They have an arena that's on the outskirts. They're not in Phoenix, so that doesn't help. There's supposed to be development going on around the rink, and well, I mean, and they watch other teams come into the league and have success. What has Arizona done over the past 25 years?
They made a conference final.
They made a conference final 10 years ago now.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Other than that, they'd been a joke.
They beat Nashville in that second round, by the way. But yeah, that was Mike Smith. Mike Smith and is basically
Mike Smith went on a run.
Stood on his head.
Goaltending.
Yeah.
But their ownership's been... they're owned by the league at one point.
And that's the most successful they've been, is when they've been owned by the league.
Guys, I'll be honest with you. What the best... the best thing to come out of the Arizona Coyotes, you know what it is? The best thing to come out of the Arizona Coyotes over the past 20 years is inspiring Austin Matthews to play hockey.
To not go back to Arizona.
Are we counting Shane Doan as a Winnipeg Jet then?
He's a player. He was going to play regardless.
Oh, we're talking about Arizona.
Arizona.
Yeah.
Austin Matthews is the only thing good to come out of the Arizona Coyotes.
Yeah.
What, did you do developmental stuff with them?
A little, but he was inspired to play hockey because of Arizona being in that market. He grew up in Arizona.
Yeah, I knew he grew up there. I didn't know if that was the reason.
And the way it's going, he's never all that. Oh, Matthew's going to go. I don't think he's ever going to go on and play for that shit show. He's not going to touch that with a 40-foot pole. No.
Longer.
Yeah.
Unless he owns it when he goes back there.
We make fun of Ottawa because of Melnyk. This is a new fucking
Mark, you said
joke.
it makes Melnyk look like a saint in comparison. I know Melnyk's outspoken, but at least he's not.
Melnyk just sounds cheap.
Slime.
This guy just sounds like a fucking asshole.
Well, the local vendors get me too. They said they had about 8 local vendors, anywhere from people that do food delivery or it could be laundry. They name flights company,
flight company.
That's a lot of money for
local
the
economy, local businesses, and these guys are
fleecing them.
Not paying them and then haggling their invoices that they agreed to. If it's an invoice, you've agreed to pay that thing, and now they're arguing over the concession napkins.
Yeah.
And they have to agree to their lower terms because they need that money.
They need the money.
They need it to survive.
Yeah.
And then if they don't, then they threaten to sue them because they're bigger. The owners have a bigger.
They have more money to spend.
They're a bigger entity.
Yeah.
It's almost as if somebody.
It's like you'll last 1 month, I'll last 1 year.
Yeah,
and that seems to be what they try and do. Is just we're going to litigation.
Oh, it happens all the time in the construction industry. Man.
The one vendor said, somebody said that Katie Strang spoke to, that they felt that this was their game plan, that they were going to not pay their invoice for whatever service. Oh yeah, and then haggle after.
They probably did this before as well.
It's probably. It makes you think this is how they got into the business of everything to begin with. They did the same thing probably with their casinos, because history repeats itself. With probably their pizzerias, they did the same thing.
Probably.
Treating their employees like shit.
When I first showed you the article before you read it, you're like, yeah, it kind of makes sense because their gloves didn't match their jerseys at the reveal.
Oh, so the reverse retro jerseys, when they took the ice with the reverse retro, the purple jerseys, they did not have matching gear.
They had burgundy stuff on still?
They had black, but their gloves were black with a little bit of the burgundy. And it's just like, you couldn't afford gloves?
Yeah, that's like...
Everyone's going all in on this like pant shell. Like they just wore black pants. Like that's fair. Black helmets. Like it works because that's how it was back then.
And then you go and look at fucking Vegas and they made their helmets out of real gold.
Dude. Arizona. How big is Arizona? The Coyotes organization being shown up by the Vegas Golden Knights.
Oh yeah.
They've been in the league for 3 years.
They've had more success
than Coyotes have had in 25.
Yeah.
And they probably almost made as much money in those 25 years.
If they've made a profit, that means they've done better.
And they've made gold helmets.
They've made a fucking cup final.
I feel bad for the fans, man. I feel bad for the Arizona fans.
I'm pissed they made a cup final.
Yeah. Oh, that's a different story.
But that's a
different story.
Good for Vegas for doing it.
Good for you, but fuck you.
Yeah.
I swear to God, if Seattle comes in and it's just like fucking first place or whatever.
The thing is, though, there's so many good players in the NHL that they might. they might be half decent.
Yeah, especially with some players on their team that we've talked about in previous podcasts. Anyway,
Yeah, not not anymore.
And also, if some teams have hired just as many idiots as Arizona has, like, who knows what the fuck. Like, we saw how dumb teams were last expansion, so who knows.
I think
this
teams
year.
have learned, but you never know. You can never discount the stupidity in the NHL.
Yeah.
All right, we've
That's
talked
one
about
thing.
Arizona for too much for the rest of our life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Arizona Coyotes.
Until they relocate.
Yeah.
Guys,
Yeah,
I think
no more Arizona talk until they relocate.
until they change cities, until they change.
And then they're not Arizona anymore.
Well, we can talk about their players, but not the organization at all.
Yeah, the management. Okay, so hold on. Before we do that, though, I am curious because there's always two sides of a story.
Yeah.
I am curious as to what the owner's side of the story is, just because
Yeah.
you always have to. You always.
But
sort
if
of-
he's
you
a
always sort of
scumbag,
wonder.
you're not going to get the full story out of him anyways.
No. The one thing I mentioned previous, without going into it again, but he, restaurants, casinos, real estate, that's all taken a huge hit. So he might be in the red big time because of COVID. Maybe,
Good.
Potentially.
He deserves it.
Well, there. Yeah. So, and,
Maybe he was in on GME.
but second, yeah, GameStop.
He was shortening it,
It's like, this is going to the moon for sure.
waiting for it to get down to like 4 cents before he could sell.
Then the second question I had was how much of him coming in and treating it like a pizzeria or a pizza chain joint restaurant thing, how much is that people in hockey wondering or saying this guy's doing things different? This guy came in and the owner came in and basically said, it's basically hockey culture, hockey people not wanting to change. So from his side, it's like, okay, well, I want to do things this way. It's a little bit more efficient business-wise. And the hockey people just saying, well, we've always done it this way. So I'm wondering if maybe there's a little bit of that too.
There could be, for sure. But
You know what I mean? Like,
There's
it's
also like a
that conservative
ethical
hockey.
standpoint. And what he's doing is completely unethical.
I'm no way defending what he's doing. I completely agree.
I
He's a
understand what you're
scumbag.
saying, but like
They're just- those are
there's
just
ethics
questions.
in business, and the way he runs business is not ethical.
No, those are just. Well, the other question I have is how often has he pulled this shit before with
Yeah.
other businesses? 100%, that's a question. But those are just questions that I had reading the article. That wasn't the article's intent to get into those topics. Those are questions that they may never reveal themselves because who knows what's going on, and people may never know. And then in 31 Thoughts, Elliot Friedman had a question regarding the two lawyers that were started to question some of the Arizona staff. He was wondering if the NHL was getting involved or to what extent the NHL is involved, because if there is fudging of the numbers that the NHL is receiving, that's affecting all the other 30 properties, 31 other properties.
Couldn't all 30 teams sue the Coyotes if they're fudging numbers?
That's a great question, Mark.
and guess what? Those 30 teams have a lot more money than that one guy does.
31 teams. Because Seattle's going to be involved in this too, because now they're in
gonna
existence this
yeah,
draft.
yeah.
This draft.
Fuck, New York can probably take them down by themselves if they need to.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sather.
Okay, I just wanted to get those out there. Now I'm done with the Coyotes.
Good.
Anyone
Yeah.
else? Okay, good. Let's talk. Okay, sort of from one negative story to another negative story, but it's not. But this is an on ice negative story. We did over the past couple weeks talk about the Nashville Predators, and I don't know. Did we use the word rebuild? Because that word is being bantered around a lot now. But we did talk. I did bring to you guys the top 5 list of 1-2 center in salary.
Oh yeah, they're number whatever on the
5,
Yeah.
right behind the Leafs, Oilers, Pens, Caps.
Yeah.
Then it's the Predators with their first and second line centers
Duchesne and
combined
Johansson.
for the fifth most in the NHL. So it's been reported. It is being reported that there are only 3 untouchables on the Nashville Predators currently.
And who is that?
The 3 untouchables.
I'm going to guess Yossi.
Yeah, that's one.
And then Ellis, maybe?
Yeah, that's the second one.
And Forsberg.
Nope.
Really?
Yeah, I had him on my list of untouchables.
Fabro?
Nope.
Goalie? Rene?
Yeah, it's Rene. Just because he's been there for a long time, I don't think they want to
Loyal?
uproot him. I think that's it.
Good for them.
Yeah.
That's something Poley would do too.
100%. Only one GM in Predators history,
Yeah.
man. Only one GM.
And
There you
that-
go, Arizona. They fucking figured it out. Didn't they come in the same time as?
No, they were after him.
Oh,
But still,
Well, Nashville was an expansion.
yeah,
and
Phoenix
Arizona was
a
the Winnipeg
relocation.
Jets
Oh, yeah.
relocation. So it's a slightly
I think
different.
Nashville was early 2000s.
Oh, 98, I believe.
98, sure.
Sure, but around the early 2000s, sure. Close enough for a lot of people listening
I
to
know,
this.
like, those 4 teams came around that time,
Yeah.
like Columbus, Minnesota, them, and was the 4th one.
Yes.
Yes.
Columbus,
Ottawa hasn't
Nashville,
been in for too long either, really.
Minnesota?
Minnesota, and what was the 4th one? Maybe I'm just thinking
Columbus?
the
Did you say
relocation.
Columbus?
Oh, yeah, I think you're just thinking of
Nashville,
Arizona's
Minnesota, and I
relocation.
think Atlanta?
Yeah.
Winnipeg?
Yes, Atlanta.
Was it
Oh,
Atlanta?
yeah, it was Atlanta.
was
Yeah,
there.
fuck,
Yeah.
Atlanta came and gone.
I just completely forgot about them because they're not in the league.
Wah, wah. Shout out all the Atlanta Thrashers fans that are listening.
You mean
That one guy's
AKA.
like, yeah!
AKA Winnipeg Jets.
Yes.
Rocking his Kovalchuk jersey.
So, I was shocked to hear that Philip Forsberg was not on the no trade list. Philip Forsberg, is he the most valuable piece in Nashville?
You
No,
get a
yes, he-
shitload for him.
Oh, to trade him?
Yes, that's not on the
How's he
no-trade
doing
list.
this year?
Doing okay.
Yeah, he's
You want
probably
to look at his points again?
Yeah, I'm just checking
easily.
it
He's
right
got
now.
a fair contract as well.
Oh, Forsberg's got 15 in 17 games. It's pretty good.
Yep. 26 years old, $6 million cap hit for the next 2 seasons.
Not bad.
Very fair.
Yeah, that's a very good time to
He's
trade
a
him
first-line
too.
player. He's a first-line player. He's solid.
Does he play left, right?
He is right on. He's a left winger. But I think
I like him. He's got a dirty side to his game, too.
a little. He's been suspended a couple times. Yeah, but I mean, teams need that. There's
Yeah.
not enough of that.
A reverse check he pulls is fucking such a dirty play.
Yeah, if he gets up high,
Yeah,
if you stay
well,
low,
he does get high on people when he does it, though. I don't know why he hasn't been called for headshots doing
Yeah.
it or
He has.
interference.
He has.
Or it's fucking interference. The other guy doesn't have the puck.
Well, and every year he's been in the league, he's been around 60 points.
in the last couple, I think everyone on Nashville's dipped this year and last year.
Last year he had 48 in 63 games, so he missed some games.
How many goals?
21.
How many goals in the last 5 seasons?
He's always
Oh,
a split,
dude,
though.
20, 26, 33, 31, 26, 28,
Yeah.
21, and then 8 this year. He's 8 and 7 this year.
Dude,
He's a goal scorer.
he's solid, man. Solid player.
He's 50-50 split.
Yeah,
like, goals,
300 and,
Yeah.
370 points in 470 games.
There you go. Dude, if anybody wanted to take a Philip Forsberg, man,
And teams might have room for him.
Colorado has room.
Oh, fuck. Why's Colorado got everything?
because they have a competent
Fuck.
GM.
Do you see...
And a lot of young talent that
Were
they
we
just hit
watching
on.
that game in here when fucking McKinnon had that? The outdoor game on
Yeah,
Saturday
it just coming
night.
in. Have you seen the video where there's the video I saw where they have a live footage of like the on ice, and you see like it's the scene where it's the part of the game where McKinnon's barreling down on Pietrangelo,
Yeah.
but when Pietrangelo starts transitioning backwards, and he's just like, oh boy. He just knows McKinnon's coming down on him, and there's nothing he can do.
Oh,
about
they
it.
have that mic.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
Like Pietrangelo just like, we're fucked.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about the outdoor game yet.
We're
Greg.
getting there, man.
Oh.
We're getting there.
Which I
Jeez.
thought it was pretty funny because like even one of the best defensemen in the game sees McKinnon come and he's just like, oh fuck.
Speaking of defensemen, guys, we're still in Nashville here for a second, okay?
I don't like Nashville.
We're still there.
They're
We're still there.
trash. What are we talking about?
Because this is this is interesting stuff.
I don't even want to bring up Detroit, and they're my favorite team.
They haven't said that all their players are available though.
Okay, so they're still considering what they want to do with them.
Mikhail Granlund and Eric Holla had a lot of attention in the offseason. There's a lot of teams reportedly interested. They're both on one-year deals. Those are both guys that I expect
Hall
to
has
be
been traded a few times the last couple seasons for
Yes.
playoffs.
Yes, and I expect that to happen as well. However, one of the names that would be really interesting, I'm not interested in all those names because, okay, they're just pieces and whatever, but Philip Forsberg's a big one, and the other one is Matthias Ekholm. 30 years old. If you haven't watched Nashville, he's kind of like
What's up with Arvidsson?
he's also a really attractive piece.
No, I thought there was an article that came out on The Athletic recently about him. I didn't read it, but I thought you might have.
No, I don't follow Nashville.
I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to him.
So Ekholm is sort of like a Jake
Only the good
Muzzin,
teams, Ian.
but a little bit more on the offensive side of the game. He shoots a little bit more offense than Jake Muzzin, but he's comparable, like an Alex.
Muzzin broke his face.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
apparently.
Yeah, we'll get there.
You brought up Muzzin.
Yeah. So, but
Stop bringing up stuff we want to talk about
from a
if you don't
trade-
want us to talk about
I'm
it.
just mentioning their names, man. You guys are actually bringing up you're taking the segues way too far. Okay, so look at what the Leafs gave up for Muzzin. It was a first rounder, a prospect, and another guy, essentially.
Yeah.
You can Nashville will get at least that for
Probably
Matthias
less.
Ekholm.
Probably less. They probably want as much as Muzzin, but they'll probably get less. His name's not as sexy.
Man, dude.
Does he have 2 cups?
Here's an interesting
gold medal.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting thought, Mark. Here's an interesting thought.
This is where the intangibles are going to come in.
Which team wanted a defenseman out of Nashville a decade ago?
Probably Philly.
Philadelphia. Wouldn't that be interesting? They lost. Who'd they lose?
Niskanen.
Niskanen in the offseason. Do you see a fit there?
What hand does Ekholm play?
Ekholm is
If he's right-handed,
hold on.
left-handed, he
left defenseman.
Yeah, he won't fit.
He's on the injured reserve right now.
Yeah,
he is signed for 2 more years. Dude,
You need a righty?
2 years at 3.75.
Yeah, they need it right, though. Flyers don't
That's
need another left-handed defenseman.
A great contract.
It's a great contract, but also, I'm not one. If I was Nashville, I'm not one to trade a good player on a good contract unless if it's like something really, 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 really good.
Oh, you're getting what you want, but I think that's
Yeah.
a great contract for.
You might get what you want.
Ekholm
based
plays
on the
top
value
4
of the
on pretty much any
contract,
team.
But
Ekholm's good enough to play top 4 on any team, I think.
yeah,
I mean, unless you already have an established top 4, but
I just don't watch him enough to have an opinion on his play. So
well, I'm telling you he's worth a bunch. He's one of him and Forsberg are their huge pieces. And Ian, you brought up Arvidsson. There was an art. Somebody wrote
you
an
don't
article.
think Fabro would get more because he's younger?
Fabro could. He's just a little more unproven.
Is he still on entry level?
Maybe.
I can look that up. Hang on, I'm on cap friendly right
now. He's still protected, so that doesn't matter for that.
Sorry, who are we talking about?
Dante Fabro. He was.
Where is he?
I think he was drafted in 2018, so I feel like he'd still be on entry level for this year. So I think he might be automatically protected for the Seattle draft.
Yeah.
And you're not going to trade a young guy like that right now anyways, right?
No, I wouldn't. That's what I mean. I was surprised Fabro wasn't on the list.
Well, that might be why he's not on the list.
Dante Fabro, he has 1 year left. He's an RFA.
Yeah, so he's on his entry level.
There's a few articles that say pretty much everyone is open and available. Obviously, yeah, you're going to want more for a younger kid.
Yeah.
But Arvidsson, to go on to bring up what Ian was saying, 4 years left. He's 27. He plays both wings, 4 1/4
Not bad.
on the cap.
And he's come close to, he's been a 30-30 player, hasn't he?
Have you looked at his stats?
No.
Arvidsson, man,
He's got 7 points this year. He's not that good.
no, not this year. Go back.
I know. I've had him before in fantasy hockey.
Yeah, those are Nashville's anomaly years, though, too.
These have been down years, so anyone he's playing with just isn't putting the puck in the net.
Last year he only had 28 points in 57 games. Year before he had 48 and 58. But then the 2 years before that, he was 61 points, basically a 30-30 guy. So if he could get to that 30-30
solid
for $4 million, $4 million's still a lot for... no, not for a 30-30, yo. No, that's good for a 30-30.
A Leaf comparison, he's kind of like a Zach Hyman, but a little bit more goal scoring.
Oh, like the style of play?
Ish, yeah. This isn't a direct comparison, it's a ballpark comparison.
He's day-to-day as well, Greg.
He is day-to-day, man.
Stop bringing him up.
Kachuk's going to run amok tonight. No Thornton, too.
So...
No Muzzin, Thornton, or Hyman.
Or Simmons.
Let's wrap that up. We don't have to talk about those guys anymore. But I'd just be interesting that, hey, Mark, like we said, hey, we're going to talk about... people are going to start talking about Nashville Predators in like a week or two when we brought them up like a week or two ago.
Yeah.
Kind of funny. Do you guys want to do just a quick look around the NHL, do some fantasy stuff? We'll save Leafs till the end.
After the 7th?
Yeah.
All right.
Mark, yeah, we'll do
What?
that. No, we'll look around the league. Let's do some fantasy stuff now. I got some here.
I beat you this week. Suck
okay.
it.
This is just looking at the standings. Okay?
Yeah, just completely ignores it.
Yeah. Well, I'll get there. Okay. How about this? Don't look now, but the Montreal Canadiens have lost 4 of their last 5 games.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Everybody, those Montreal Canadiens that people thought would be the best team in the division because it can't be the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Montreal Canadiens.
Oh, no. They've had a few bad games. Big
lost
deal.
twice. In 3 games against Ottawa, they've looked atrocious.
Yeah, the Leafs gave up 4 goals to Ottawa and then lost.
That also happened.
So
that's also a thing. Yeah, both could be true, man. Both are. That's terrible. That's unforgivable.
Nobody's as good as their peak and nobody's as bad as their bottom. So
I watched a little bit of that game last night. So the reason Ian beat me is because I had Jake Allen in net. Jake Allen and the Montreal Canadiens, who should have handedly beat the Ottawa Senators. Oh my God, Montreal looked like a junior B team. They looked like a junior B team owned by a brewery losing to the Ottawa Senators.
Yeah. How'd the Leafs look the other night to the Ottawa Senators? When they lost when they were up 5-1.
They looked like they got
looked like a fucking men's league team.
It looked like they got into the brewery after 2 periods.
Games,
guys, I'm actually a little bit. I'm disappointed in both of you.
Flyers looked like the fucking.
No, listen. Hey,
Flyers
no.
looked like a fucking AHL team yesterday against
Montreal
the Bruins.
Canadiens. The Montreal Canadiens are owned by Molson. Guys, come on. That was a joke. Who's sitting right there? You guys didn't jump on it. I'm a little bit ashamed of both of you right now.
And then fucking Flyers have lost 5 times to Boston already this year. So like, already the Yellow's giving me PTSD already.
Detroit's lost 4 times to Chicago already.
Oh, that sucks. And Chicago, I thought was like the only team they could beat.
And Chicago's in like second in the division or
something.
something.
Chicago's doing well, man. They're doing great.
That goalie they got's really good. The Lankinen?
Yes.
I thought they were going to be able to stop pucks. And then they're like, oh, we found this random guy with a last name.
I don't know if I mentioned it. You said, Mark, that both goalies in Chicago were undraftable. And I'm not sure if I mentioned on the podcast when we were talking about goalies, if the only hope I saw in their goaltending was that third string guy. And that's him, Kevin Lankinen. I didn't expect, nobody expected him to be as good as he is, but what are his numbers? Do you have his numbers in front of you?
Yeah, I'm pulling them up.
He's got the...
Lankinen's played 13 games.
I think he's like 7.
7-3-3.
Sure, that's very respectable.
He's got a 242 goals against and a 927.
Yeah, you're going to win a lot of games.
Damn.
927.
Honestly, Subban's numbers aren't bad. He's got a 265 and a 917.
Yeah, that's pretty good too, man. Good for
really?
Subban. Yeah, Subban's doing okay.
How many games has he played?
Only 4.
Yeah,
okay.
not.
It's 2-1-1, but still, whatever.
It's not like it's 1 or 2 games though. That's an okay. I mean, that's still
They're
a small
doing it without
sample
Jonathan
size.
Taves too.
Yeah.
A big shout out to the Chicago Blackhawks.
Fucking Patrick Kane's got 26 points.
Hey, don't look now, guys. Don't look now. But
don't look where?
LA has 9 of their past 10 points. They've received 9 of their past 10 possible points.
Ooh.
Yeah, they've been playing good.
They've been playing really well, man. They've been doing...
Who have they played?
Okay.
Probably the Ducks a bunch of times.
Sharks.
Ducks can't score a fucking goal for
Coyotes.
They called up Zegras yesterday.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Wild and Sharks.
Yeah.
So...
Hey, numbers don't lie, man. It's true.
And then before that, they lost 4 straight.
Well, what if you can't read?
they're in the playoffs, man. They passed the Arizona Coyotes. They're in the 4th spot in the
Yeah,
West.
they don't deserve, if Arizona makes, like, the players deserve to be there, but like they should go in as like an independent team, just not call themselves Arizona if they make the playoffs.
Just
be like,
no, they can still be Arizona, but they can't be owned by whatever his company is.
What did
the independent players of the Arizona Coyotes?
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. The player, it's basically the Russian Olympic players.
The independent Russian players for Russia.
People get it. People know what we're saying. That's what I was trying to spit out. Yeah, 100%. Hey, don't look now as well. I got another one here. Looking at the Dallas Stars. Yeah. Dallas has won only 1 of their last 8 games.
Ouch. 5 straight.
That's not okay. That's not good. Something's happening in Dallas. Have they been injured or something?
Yeah, I think they've been nicked up a bit. Jamie Benn hasn't been playing the greatest.
They came out on fire.
Seguin
or Bishop.
Yeah, they came out on fire, but nobody's as good as what they are when they're the best.
Well, they came out on fire.
Tampa's really good.
They came out on fire, and they beat up on the Predators right away.
Ben's only played 8 games. He's got 7 points.
Yep. That's it.
I know his fantasy rank's been really low, but like just looking at his, like he hasn't been where Jamie Benn. Yeah, I don't know.
I think Goudreau has more hits than him on the.
They've also only played 12 games. Like they're average 5 behind most of the league.
Who's
right
this?
now. Dallas. Who are we talking about?
Okay. Well, you jump around so much; it's hard to keep track sometimes.
We're just going a little south of Arizona.
And who else has played? Is that the fewest games played? That's the fewest games played in the league.
Yeah, because I
think so.
Yes, Devils are at 13.
Yeah.
That's the only team other close. Than that.
Gotcha. Cool.
Minnesota's 14. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, the COVID's been really messing with fantasy hockey as well.
We've been saying that every week.
Yeah.
We've been saying that every week.
Do you see the thing about Panarin?
Yeah.
Stepping back?
Mark sent us the thing in our group chat.
I didn't read it.
Mark, do you know a little bit more about this than anyone else? This is a developing story.
Yeah, that's wild. So apparently this morning or something, some
recording this on Monday
old
morning,
coach
22nd, Feb 22.
in Russia who was coaching Panarin when he was, I guess, 18 at the time. Allegedly, he punched a Latvian woman in a bar.
This is 2010 or 11?
2011, 10 years ago.
Okay.
And allegedly, he punched a Latvian woman in a bar, and the news is just coming to surface now.
Conveniently
After he spoke out against Vladimir Putin.
Supporting the leader of the opposition.
The leader of the opposition party in Russia.
In quotation marks, leader of the opposition.
You know what the quote is?
Either way, what?
It said, sent her to the floor with several powerful blows. It's like, how many blows do you think Panarin would need to send a woman to the ground?
Several, allegedly.
Yeah, but like the thing is though, like with that news coming out, it's almost like a lose-lose situation for him, because if it is true, he's a piece of shit. And if it isn't true,
beat up a woman in Latvia.
The Russian government is
after
him and probably his family, and that's scary as fuck.
And his family is currently in Russia.
And I think his family is currently in Russia.
Okay.
So either way, he's like
rocking a hard place.
Exactly.
He's taken a leave of absence from the New York Rangers.
And the New York Rangers fully support him that they are false allegations.
Immediately came out with a statement. It wasn't like we're investigating anything.
No, they said we stand beside Panarin and that the allegations are false. So, basically, if the Rangers are supporting him, you kind of stand by him, and now Russia's after him. Basically, that's fucking scary.
That's not cool at all. That's not okay.
Because people disappear over there.
Yeah, exactly. People disappear.
So hopefully that comes to as good of a resolution as possible. I just don't know
what the resolution is.
Yeah, like he gets his family out, or ensures their safety somehow. I don't know. Like it's just. A messy situation that you don't ever want to see happen, but it's just, I mean, the speculation out there is too that they just want to get him off the
Olympic team. But you could do that over a fucking phone call.
You don't have to do that,
or you just don't invite him.
Yeah, there's other ways. Like
there's professional ways to do it. You don't gotta like sink a guy.
Yeah, people would go crazy if he's not invited, but it'd be easy to say, oh, there was internal issues between him and a coach or something like that. It's like whatever.
Yeah, that sounds too American.
Yeah,
that way's too American. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just sucks for the guy.
It sucks for everybody.
Yeah.
I have him.
Why
it sucks for me too, because I have him in my one fantasy league.
Oh, that's the reason. There you go. Yeah. Hey guys, I got a few ad recommendations here just by looking at some things.
Radko Gudas.
Mark's always going to recommend
monster.
Radko Gudas.
He's still averaging 5 hits a game. His plus minus has actually been half decent, and he's getting some PIMs. So if you're in a banger league,
anybody else there on your sort of ad list, Mark, on your watch list? Gudas is always on your list.
Zegras.
I picked up Craig Smith yesterday. He got me 2 assists.
Nice.
Pretty clutch.
Craig Smith, former Nashville, now Boston.
Nashville Predator. I picked up Jordan Stahl at the start of the week, and he got me 3 goals, and he's been playing over a point per game on the season. Yeah.
You know what? I grabbed him too in a couple leagues.
Yeah. And he's been on fire.
I picked up Mike Smith.
I'm going to check right now. Sorry.
Picked up Mike Smith. He got me 2 good solid wins this week.
He's up to 60% owned.
60%. That's Jordan Stahl.
Which is still pretty low.
Also, their other center, Trocheck. He's about 70% owned. They're all Carolina.
Trocheck's ranked 16 in standard leagues.
Dude, yeah, so that's gone up
and
about
Jordan
3%
Stahl is
since
ranked
last night.
56 in standard leagues.
I have Niederreiter on one team. I wonder.
Carolina.
And since there's plus minus in standard leagues, they're good ones because Carolina's a really good plus minus team.
Niederreiter's 50%, 56% rostered as well.
What line does he play on? Can we have a look?
It's one of the first 2.
He's doing well.
All 3 lines on Carolina are killing it. They got like 3 first lines going right now, man.
Yeah.
Stahl, Trocheck, and Aho is probably one of the best 3 down the middle in the league.
I'm trying to pull up daily.
It's scary how deep that team
Niederreiter
is.
Basically a point per game right now.
Line combos.
Can I bring up the fact that Score said to trade Huberdeau last week, and he had 7 points this week? I don't know, because they were saying, oh, he's got 17 points in 15 games. This is a good point to trade him. He's not going to do much more, and then he gets 7 points this week.
Wow, that's a cold take. Who did that?
The score.
The score.
They always have
you got
like
a pretty good player in a trade this week too, didn't you?
Anderson with Montreal. I drafted him in one league. Okay, he's a little too owned in order to be recommending for an ad. I think at this point. Oh, by the way, sorry, I just looked this up. Niederreiter plays with Trocheck and Martin Nikus. Nichus? Nakis. I've heard his name pronounced. He's plays second line with the Carolina Hurricanes. Yo, good guys to add there. Ian, you got any?
Oh, well, I just wanted to continue on that Huberdeau thing.
Yo, sorry,
I got it right here.
Yeah.
So every week, the Score offers fantasy hockey column detailing handful of moves you should make. This edition focuses on Week 5 roster percentages and position eligibility are courtesy of Yahoo.
Yep.
Jonathan Huberdeau, trade.
Wow, they had him a trade.
Trade him. The basic stats don't look bad for him. He's tallied 15 points in 12 games this season. However, deeper look into the numbers suggests he's lucky to have that many points. Okay. Trade Huberdeau immediately while his value is still high. They went on to say that his shots are a lot lower this year as well, or something.
Total shots?
Yeah, so his average shots. But still, like...
average shots per game.
Huberdeau had 7 points in the last 3 games or something like that.
Dude, he's even higher now. To the moon! Stonks!
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. And he's been one of the most consistent left wingers in the NHL the past, like,
3 years now.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know what? If you...
trade consistency!
7 points in the last 4 games.
Sorry. I mean, you know what? If a guy's hot, you always sort of say, "Hey, listen, like
you can get something for him." Yes,
sure, but as like a trade,
I wouldn't say that's hot
Why?
for Huberdeau though. That's like his normal.
That's hot.
It's a little high.
But it's not like out there.
It's not astronomical.
No.
It's not like this guy's like a 5th round pick in fantasy.
The 15 points in 13 is actually low for a point per game total the last couple of seasons.
Sure.
Yeah, you'd get more from him now if you went to trade him.
Yeah, now is when you trade him. Maybe they should have wrote that article this week.
I've always been high on Huberdeau too because I've always looked at him.
You've always liked him.
I've always picked him up in fantasy, and he's always done very well for me. You
could get him late in later drafts too, because everyone's like, Florida doesn't score goals.
Or he's bad plus minus, but like he's still good.
He's not gonna have a bad plus
like he's 22 points in 16 games this year already.
Ian's got his poster. He's handsome.
What's his plus minus?
Is he? I don't really know what he looks like. He's a +2.
Yeah.
Playing on Florida.
Decent.
Respectable. If you use plus
Florida's
minus.
really good this year.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, so here, how about I got some here. Tristan Jarry, 75% owned. So 1 out of every 4 leagues he is available. He got off to a slow start. Terrible.
Yeah.
Over the past 2 weeks. Go look at his stats over the past 2 weeks. They're really good.
Yeah, I grabbed him in our 14-man league. And
so he's somewhere in the middle. He's going to be somewhere in the middle there.
Got me a nice win. I'll tell you what his rank is in the last...
In the last 14?
In the last 2 weeks, 54. Last week, ranked 34.
34, that's pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah. And everybody's trying to go for gold. It's so hard recommending goaltenders because it's almost week by week at this point, just with all the injuries and just
the only thing with Pittsburgh
starting.
This week is a heads up, they got the Caps twice.
Yeah, that's a little bit rough. Speaking of the Caps, Justin Schultz, he last I checked, 46% owned, power play shots. He plays power play 2 with the Washington Capitals. Give Justin Schultz a look. Power play points are always tough to chase after. You really can't chase them because all the power play guys are owned because they're picked to the top of drafts. So Justin Schultz, Washington Capitals.
Also, I got another one. He plays for New Jersey. Since New Jersey hasn't played in a few weeks, Kyle Palmieri. He's his average is, I think, around 50.
Okay.
But I think he's around a point per game.
So he's a points guy?
Yeah.
Left wing only?
Right wing.
Right wing.
He's over a plus. He's averaging 2 shots and almost 2 hits. He's averaging almost 3 shots and 2 hits a game.
Dude, that's across the board.
Yeah.
Anybody can add that. Anybody.
Yeah.
What's how owned is he?
56%.
56% owned. Ian, you got you got a Minnesota goalie.
Capo Kakkonen?
Capo Kakkonen?
Yeah.
Nailed it.
He had 2 1-goal wins this week, so he did well
with the Wild.
Yeah, with Minnesota. But they were playing Anaheim, so
right.
But they got San Jose tonight, so I still have them.
Yeah. Hey, that's a good tip. What teams are scoring the least? I know Anaheim's scoring less than 2 a game.
One more thing on Palmieri. Since New Jersey's been back from COVID, 3 goals, 2 assists in 3 games.
Nice.
Plus 4.
How long was their COVID stretch?
That was wild.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games at least.
They missed 8 games.
He missed at least 8 games.
He missed 8 games, and he's played 3 since coming back.
And he's got 5 points in 3 games.
5 points in 3 games. I would say that's pretty good.
Yeah, 10 shots.
Unless your name's
4
Connor
hits.
McDavid, that's bad.
Yeah.
But anyone else, that's good.
Yeah, he's been quite the player this week.
Sick. I got another defenseman here. Josh Morrissey. He's another guy that's been off to a slow start in Winnipeg.
Winnipeg, yeah.
About 40% owned, so he's available. He's out there. And he's got a few points this past week. He's power play 1 in Winnipeg. He's a guy that's sort of turning his season around a little bit. He had a terrible start.
Yeah.
Terrible start. But hey, maybe look for him. Also, not a bad idea. Hey, guys, I will talk about the Leafs in a bit again, but Joe Thornton, if you want to sort of piggyback on the Matthews Marner train, Joe Thornton's a center and left wing, and he's about 44% owned as well. So there's
day to day, but yeah,
he's currently day to day. But just someone to add to your watch list, because man, if the Leafs are playing, never a bad ad. I mean, Joe Thornton could be a guy. I mean,
Joe Thornton's out right now day to day though.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, he just said.
Sorry.
Yeah, he could put up 3 assists in a game, or he doesn't hit very much, doesn't have many tertiary stuff. But if you're looking for a guy that just get a couple power play points, maybe sure. The last guy that I'll bring up is with the Buffalo Sabres. They've missed a bunch of games too. How many games have the Sabres missed?
I don't know, a lot.
They've missed. I mean, that's
probably as many as New Jersey.
They've only played 14. So
yeah,
they
I was
missed roughly 4 or 5.
About the same number. Yeah. And I know they're not really a sexy team to talk about because they're there at the bottom of the standings in the Eastern Division. But Sam Reinhart, again, less than 50% owned. He's had 3. He's in the past 4 games. He has 3 power play points.
Nice.
So good for him.
Yeah, if you pick him up at that point, that would have been good.
Yeah, they had a week-long break, it looks like. They were off for about a week. Yeah, so same as New Jersey. Sucks for those guys.
Yeah, see who they're playing next, though. Like, they got Islanders, but then they got 2 games against the Devils this week, so yeah.
Yeah, the Devils have been pretty good, actually.
Yeah, they just got Nico Hischier back, too.
Yeah.
Their new
He's
captain.
a guy guys could be checking at first, too. Nico Hischier.
And there we go. We were doing captain
new
shout-outs.
captain.
Yeah, there we go. Captain shout-outs. Good for them. Guys, are we is there anything else around the league that you guys want to mention?
Well, you
Mark mentioned Zegras, Anaheim.
Yeah.
Maybe. Is he they
called him up. They got him on Daily Faceoff.
I'm gonna look. I keep using that.
You did bring something up about worst goal differential.
Yeah, Boston is one of the best.
No, but you were saying for picking someone up.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So you guys saw how cool much of a spectacle the outdoor game was there with the scenery?
Yes.
Where do you think would be a cool spot? Because I thought an aircraft carrier would be a sick spot for an outdoor game next. right at the bottom of Manhattan.
That'd be insane.
Where do they have U.S. naval stations? They got one
bottom
in
of
LA.
Manhattan. They got one at the bottom of Manhattan. They have an aircraft carrier that docks there.
Yeah, just say screw the fans and only let the military people on the boat. I like that.
It's more than,
actually, that'd be a cool thing.
Yeah, and it's more than
patent pending.
And it's more than big enough to fucking have a rink on it with a stand around it.
Yeah,
kind of have to have it out of commission though.
What was I looking up?
They have some out of commission.
Well, then use one of those.
Yeah, it would be. I think it would be damn fucking cool.
That'd be a cool spectacle.
Yeah.
To add to this one, right on the lake with the mountains in the background.
Yeah, I thought, I'll be honest, I was surprised that the NHL did it because it's, without fans, it's so unconservative. It's so, like the NHL is so square.
Old man
They're
yelling
beyond
at clouds.
conservative. They're beyond conservative. They don't do anything exciting. They they do the outdoor games and they did the stadium series and they're starting to do that stuff. But it's like once they have that formula, this is the first game ever with a pro game without fans, is it? Like, in a different location. They actually built a rink on a pond.
No, they built it on the 18th green.
Sure, whatever. Yeah, on a thing. They made a pond. Whatever. Yeah, they built a rink for a no fan game.
Yep. Spent a lot of money, probably.
Spent a lot of money. Hopefully they got some views. How gorgeous did those Vegas Golden Knight red jerseys look in the sun? They looked, I know they only played the first period in the sun, but I thought they looked gorgeous.
Yeah, they were pretty good.
Are you still mad about them having 4 jerseys?
I still don't think they should have 4 jerseys. That's horse shit. That's horse. I mean, there's nothing as horse shit as the
Arizona Coyotes.
Exactly.
We were done with them.
Relatively.
Yeah, but we can always step on a dead horse.
Yeah,
relatively.
okay.
I thought the
so Zegras in?
I thought the Lake Tahoe game was just incredible. I thought the sightlines were incredible.
Down there.
The sightlines were incredible. I'm glad they took a risk and they tried to play during the day because playing at night ruins the whole thing.
Well, they didn't expect it to be like
super
15
sunny.
degrees that day
and
too.
sunny. Yeah,
The
like, what are the
sun's
chances?
harder to deal with.
What
than
are the
heat.
chances?
Yeah, because they had the games in California, no problem. It's because it was too much sun.
Yeah, and that evening game looked great too.
Mm-hmm.
The Philly Boston, that looked incredible. The first period was gorgeous.
It looked good, but I would hate to play in it as well. I wouldn't be able to
Sun's
see
in the
out there.
shadows.
Yeah, a little shadowy, but you know what?
Probably suck for a goalie.
Whatever. You're playing outside, like that's a once in a lifetime.
Yeah, no,
That's
exactly.
incredible.
Yeah, exactly. It just sucks. There's just still 2 points on the line if you lose.
There was one shot. There was one shot midway through the second period where it was a low angle where you saw the rink and then you saw just the outline of the mountains with an orange hue in the background, like low in the sky with the outline of the mountain. I'm like, oh my god, that is absolutely breathtaking. Like it's incredible. So good for the NHL for doing that, because that's not like them to do cool shit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, how often does the NHL do cool shit?
I don't know.
That's because they don't really.
Yeah, they still think Green Day is cool.
That's the truth. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. You know what I loved? I loved the board sounds. You know how NHL ranks, their board sounds, you're used to NHL board sounds, but the board sounds, just because they're in an arena, that sounds different than any rink that we'd ever play on, like men's league or whatever. The board sounds from the
Do you think it was because of the echo? Like, because it's right in the open area like that?
It must be. Yeah. It just sounded like hockey boards.
Yeah.
Which I thought was, I mean, it's like, yeah, you'd expect that, Greg, obviously, but the fact that they sounded authentic, that they didn't sound fake.
Yeah.
I don't know, it was just the subtleties of that. And props to the teams for scoring goals, because in a lot of those outdoor games, the ice is shit, and it's like a 2-1 game.
Yeah.
With snow everywhere. Yeah. So props to the team for actually scoring some goals in those games too, because I purposely didn't pick up anybody playing in those outdoor games, because I'm like, for fantasy, because I'm like, this is not going to be a high scoring game.
Yeah, I think I'm going to want to put a hit out on Pasternak by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Freaking 2 hat tricks against my Flyers.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. By the way, I drafted him, put him on the IR right away. Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Hey, before we go, let's talk about to the 7th inning stretch, because you wanted to mention a little baseball piece. So I'm going to segue here. Okay, watch this. Okay,
yeah, that guy signed a big deal.
So hang on. So Lake Tahoe, that's the first time that any of the 4 major sports are really doing something like, but the MLB has, they delayed their Field of Dreams game. That's like the closest comparable from the baseball side. They're supposed to do it this past year, but because of COVID, they didn't. So the MLB Field of Dreams game is scheduled for August 12th.
They're doing it this year?
Yeah, and
fucking
that's
right.
In Iowa.
Who's playing?
Dyersville, Iowa. It's scheduled to be the New York Yankees and the Chicago White Sox. It looks as though there's about 8,000 fans. So it's not quite the same. They're doing a small stadium.
Well, the last time they did it wasn't at a.
I don't know if they've done anything like they did like a court. Didn't they do something? But it wasn't the Field of Dreams game. It might have been something else.
Yeah, probably.
But on the diamond, on the spot where they shot the Field of Dreams movie, that's where they're gonna host a game. So that's look forward to that in August.
If you build it, they will come.
That's how it happens. Hey, so here's a slight Jays segue from that. Apparently, where they were building the venue for that game that was supposed to be in 2020. They actually used, I guess, like the portable clubhouse and some of the portable infrastructure. They actually used that in Buffalo for the Jays.
Oh, so it wasn't wasted.
For Salient Field, yeah. So that was kind of cool that they actually took some of the stuff from Iowa and they shipped it to Buffalo for actual use.
Thanks, guys.
So that's cool. Sorry, okay, Mark. There's been some signings in the MLB.
Oh, some big, massive one. 14 years, $340 million for Fernando Tatis Jr.
Yep.
That's a shitload of money for a 22-year-old.
22-year-old? And you think he's the best shortstop in the major leagues?
Yeah, probably after this season he will be.
So guaranteed Golden Glove?
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
At some point, he'll win some awards.
How's his hitting?
His hitting, yeah, he's a really good hitter. He hit 277 last year, 317 in his rookie year.
Wow.
Nice.
He's a leadoff hitter though.
Leadoff guy.
Uh-huh.
Every team needs a leadoff guy.
Yeah. So not a dingers guy, but a leadoff guy.
He had 17 home runs last year in 59 games.
That's pretty good.
That's a lot for a fucking leadoff man guy.
Yep.
And not a guy that
That's
you
like
hear...
50 home runs in a full season.
Yeah.
I don't hear about him out east, unfortunately.
The Padres are going to be a fun team to watch this year. Them and the Dodgers are going to have some great matchups.
Yeah. I know you don't really like the Dodgers much, just because they're
stacked.
The Dodgers.
Just because they're the Dodgers, but I like they're just so good. It's just like, stop being good.
And they got better.
Yeah. Getting Trevor Bauer. Oh, yeah, he signed a big contract too, but he signed like $40 million a season for 2 years and opts out. So Dodgers basically gave him a lot of money, and it's like, hey, if we like you, you'll bring you back next year. If not, go sign somewhere else.
Go continue your tour of the major leagues.
Yeah. Go troll a bunch of other fans on Twitter.
We had Trevor Bauer picked as our guy when we did our baseball episode. Just as like a hope and a prayer.
Yeah.
If the Jays signed one of the free agents, we talked about Springer.
But at least we won't have to play him till the World Series. So.
Yes. You only see him once, maybe twice. Yeah. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Good for him. Good for
the Dodgers, actually.
I guess.
Just fucking throwing money at everything.
Hey, go win another World Series.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else baseball wise you want to mention?
There's only 2 relevant teams in the NL, the Dodgers and the Padres this year, eh?
Yeah.
And the Mets might try really hard.
The Mets, yeah, I've seen some stuff on Twitter about the Mets. Yeah, I mean, whatever. They're the second New York team, and I think they'll always be the second New York team. Cool.
Yeah, there's a couple guys signed. That's it.
Right on.
Switch it over.
At some point, we got to do. Would you want to do a fantasy episode? Fantasy baseball? Mark's fantasy rankings? I know Ian and I can't really help out too much, but hey.
I don't know enough guys.
Not as in depth as
I haven't done fantasy baseball in like a few years now, so like I don't know who.
You did one last year. No, there wasn't anything last year.
There wasn't anything, and I didn't do one the year before, so it's been.
Didn't you?
No.
Oh, okay.
It was the year before that.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Cool. All right. Well,
yeah. I just don't know who's like what players are relevant right now.
Yeah, that's fair. Don't Rosarina. Yeah, that guy. Jays guys, because they're coming up, they're doing stuff. But no, you're right.
Apparently, I was looking at rankings. Apparently, there's like a whole bunch of Jays players up ranked really fucking high this year in Yahoo.
Big expectations, man. Oh, they're out already? Baseball rankings?
Yeah, baseball's out.
Damn, yo, that on a snowy day, you look out the window, lots of snow on the ground in Ontario.
It's fucking raining.
And other, I mean, right down the States. But yeah, as soon as you get pitchers, catchers reporting, and your fantasy baseball stuff coming up, that kind of makes you a little bit warm and tingly inside. Okay, guys, let's go to the stretch. We're gonna do Leaf stuff after, but 7th inning stretch time. Who's done a good stretch lately? It's been a long time since I bet a lot of you have done a good stretch, good limber up. So we're gonna take the 7th inning stretch and make it more literal this time. When's the last time you actually, stretched your legs, stretch your back? That's a good one, because a lot of people have been sitting around. If you're anything like me, I've basically been spending most of my days in 2 different spots. You got your seat in front of the TV, and you got your seat in front of the computer. Maybe you got a spot at the dinner table. Lunch table, whatever, right? So a lot of people are sitting down lately. They recommend, generally speaking, every hour you should be taking a 5 to 10 minute break away from your computer, away from a screen. It's good for your eyes, good for your attention span as well to get away and start moving around a little bit. But man, a lot of people are, it's February, lockdown, not a lot of things are happening. People aren't going places. So hey, take a break, remind yourself, this is a self-reminder to get a good stretch in. There's tons of Instagram accounts or YouTube videos or whatever the fuck you want to watch, giving you a good stretch or two. All you need is 1 or 2. I suggest maybe one for your back. That's a good one. Good lower back stretch. But just find a couple stretches that work for you, work for your space, and make it a point to actually stretch. We talked a little bit about game stock, and you hear about all those to the moon stuff, all that investment advice. Make sure you take a couple minutes a day and invest in yourself, in your actual body. Because hey, we care about you, and you don't want you to be broken when this whole shit show's over.
I usually take a walk to the garage every hour.
There you go. You know what, Mark? That's good, because
maybe you should do a stretch when you do that too.
I usually do. There's like 4 steps I gotta get up, man.
Guys, the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah, they play tonight.
They play tonight. We're recording this again on the 22nd, on Monday. They've got the Albertas this week. They've got Calgary. They've got Edmonton later on. But hey, a few things have happened over the past week since we recorded last podcast, including, as Mark mentioned, blowing a 5-1 lead to the Ottawa Senators.
Muzzin broke his face.
Muzzin broke his face against the Montreal Canadiens.
Like what he was diagnosed with, a broken face.
Correct.
A broken bone in his face, yeah.
Yeah.
Broke his face.
You got a broken face.
That's the moneymaker.
That's what makes him the money.
Why aren't you playing today? My face is broken.
Yeah, he's gonna be wearing.
I can't see my forehead.
He's gonna be wearing a fishbowl cage thing after that. But yeah, he's not in. He's not in tonight. So hopefully,
probably one of those elbows. Fucking Josh Anderson gave him Saturday night.
No, it was the follow through on a shot.
Toffoli.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a follow through.
It was a stick. Yeah, they said an errant stick.
They
too.
scored on that play.
Yeah, it was Toffoli's play. And Toffoli was like, "Oh fuck, is he okay?"
Yeah, as he was like right after he scored. Yeah, it was that play. Hutchison got a start. He played against Ottawa. Thank goodness they got him in a game, and
he got a win.
He got a win.
Luckily.
I thought he played pretty well. His movement is atrocious. Like, he does not move laterally. Period.
He looks so small in the net too.
He doesn't look very big. It's interesting. But you know what, guys?
He's not an NHL goalie.
He did not sign on the Leafs to be a backup. He signed as the fourth string goaltender, remember. He was very happy to go and play on the Marlies. That's what he signed in Toronto to do. He signed in Toronto to play on the Marlies. So he's drawing no criticism, which nor should he, because he didn't ask to be put in that situation, but he stood up to the challenge. He made a few saves, man.
Yeah.
Post made a few saves too. There's a few bells ringing behind him.
Yeah, there was a couple bells.
You know what? He held down the fort and gave Frederik Andersen a rest. So tip of the cap to Hutchison for holding it down. Hopefully Campbell's back soon-ish.
Apparently he's not.
He's not, though.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like it.
That sucks.
Speaking of Calgary, that's the character that did that to him, we think, or made it worse.
Yeah.
Potentially. Not to put all the blame on Tkachuk.
Yeah, we want to put the blame on him anyways. He's a dick.
Suppose. Hey, what do you guys think of the line juggling, the Marner Nylander line juggling against the Sens this past week?
I don't know. It was against the Sens. I don't take anything serious when you're playing Ottawa this year.
To me, it looked as though anybody they throw beside Matthews looks incredible.
Yeah.
As soon as they put Matthews and Nylander together, I'm like, oh man, Nylander looks great right now. Man, Thornton looks great. Everyone's playing great. Everyone's playing amazing beside Matthews. It's and then that Marner combination. I know they got the Tavares scored.
Finally.
I don't know if he had any business scoring from there on a wrist shot, to be honest with you. I don't know how deceptive that shot was, but Murray looked surprised that went in. Yeah. Good for him. Hey, they both...
Murray also wasn't supposed to play, and the other goalie got hurt too.
Yes. But Mark, you said it. You said it last podcast. Nylander and Tavares are going to score against Ottawa, and everyone's going to be like, oh, who cares? They scored against Ottawa.
Yeah.
And they did. So I guess let's see what happens this week. We'll see what happens.
Well, Tavares needs to have a big game tonight because you're down 4 guys.
You're down 4 guys. Yeah, let's go over the injury lineup here. Who
today, we just found out Muzzin's out with a broken face.
Correct.
Thornton and Hyman are day today.
Hyman's blocked a couple shots recently.
Yeah,
that's
and
really
Thornton, I'm going to assume his ribs are hurting still.
There's got to be. I've never had a rib injury, but I'd assume it sucks.
It sucks.
I'd assume. Who else are we missing?
Simmons is still out.
Simmons is still out.
Still hurt. Is there a recent one today too? I don't think that's it.
I think just those 3 extras.
Yeah, there's 6.
And Robertson's still injured.
Yes, that's the other one.
Yeah.
So those 4 plus Robertson plus Campbell.
Yeah, I hope Tavares has a big game though. Steps up.
This is one of the weeks to do it, man. Calgary is not looking great.
Fantasy users, big week on Tavares.
Let me just pull up the NHL standings because the Calgary Flames are not doing.
I think they're second. They're second last in the division right now.
But they're second last.
Played 4
and they got Connor McDavid on the weekend,
and then they have Edmonton afterwards. So first of all, what do we expect? Toronto versus Calgary. What are we expecting?
It's a slow scoring game, 3-2.
You think so?
I think Tkachuk is going to do something stupid with the
dumb Tkachuk stuff.
With the
Muzzin's not there.
The muscle that isn't in the lineup.
Well, yeah, taking him out of the lineup. Yeah,
and Hyman and Thornton too
and Simmons
are pretty bullish as well.
Yeah, so a lot of the grit is out of the Leafs lineup. So, I mean, hopefully they have the puck so much that it doesn't matter.
Who's stepping in for Muzzin, do you think?
They've announced the lines tonight. Yeah, Dermott moves up to the second pair, and it's Bogosian Lehtinen.
Okay.
Mikko Lehtinen. So
those are big shoes to fill. I don't see it happening very well.
No.
You're gonna see how valuable Muzzin is, him being out of the lineup.
You're gonna see how valuable Muzzin is in Hall's game, because now you're gonna see Hall separated from Muzzin.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good point.
Let's see what Hall looks like over the next game, or I don't know, however long Muzzin's gonna be out for. Hopefully it's not too long. Hopefully it's only just part of the week. Comes back with a cage on.
And he comes back with a cage on.
Yeah,
Maybe
exactly.
Maybe doing some surgery or something, and he wasn't allowed to play.
Could be. Could be. Could be swelling too. Just making sure that goes down.
Yeah. I think he'll probably be good next game.
Edmonton. Is that going to be...
Connor McDavid
wasn't that one of the most boring games of the season? The Edmonton-Toronto at one point, and then the next night was incredible or something like that. I remember they had a terrible game one night.
Yeah, well, no one did anything.
No.
That was like 3 weeks ago now.
It was a while ago. It was earlier in the year. Now you're going to see the basically the top 4 scorers in the NHL on one screen.
Yeah. Hopefully they score.
Hopefully they live up to expectations. Hey, how both Edmonton goalies have actually done pretty well. Edmonton, I believe,
Mike Smith had 2 wins this week.
Yep. Edmonton is the hottest team in the NHL over the past 10 games. They're 8-2.
Oh, good for them.
The Leafs, by
how many
comparison,
points did McDavid have in the last 10?
I don't know, Mark.
Probably a lot.
105, maybe.
He's at 37 now, so probably at least 10.
The Leafs are 7-1-2, so the same number of points. Just technically, the Oilers have a better record because they're 8-2.
Wow.
Because the NHL. But
wow,
that'd be a good matchup. Oilers are in second place, man.
Yeah.
Oilers are in second.
Should be good.
Yeah, so that should be great. Okay, Leafs specifically, they had a trade, Alex Galchenyuk trade. So they ditched their...
Oh, is he in the lineup tonight?
No, I don't think so. I haven't seen him in the lineup. A lot of injuries. So I was going
to say with the injuries, maybe he's in the lineup tonight.
Yeah, I was going to ask you guys, do you think he will get in the lineup before our next podcast, which is... Yeah,
they might just
a week from now.
Yeah,
I
think so?
He will.
What's his cap hit? That's a one thing you got to look at, because without Muzzin in the lineup, you definitely have room for cap hit.
It's low. It's not. I think it's just over. It's just over $1 million.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah.
It'd be good to see him come in and because he was a good player back when he was on Montreal, but
that one season, yeah.
It'd be nice to see him do something.
Do you have Galchenyuk numbers up in front of you? Ian?
No.
Can you pull them up in front of you?
Probably not.
Okay. I just thought this was a shot across the bow to everybody in the bottom 6, forwards. Anybody that's third line or fourth line or trying to get on the squad that's not named Wayne Simmons, that's not named Jason Spezza, and Travis Boyd has stepped into that spot. He's looked pretty good.
I've really liked him. He's playing on the first
consistent
power play.
You see, and he might be a guy that plays on the top line with Matthews and Marner tonight in that void without Hyman, without
maybe.
Thornton.
Without Thornton.
Well, because he was slotted into the first power play line against Montreal.
Yeah, so there's already something there. So maybe if he can play up in a lineup, there's a lot of opportunity coming up. So maybe
that's a great opportunity for him.
Yeah, and Galchenyuk, that was, like I said, shot across about all those lower guys. I think especially Jimmy Vesey has not been terribly impressive. Mikheyev's looked great aside from trying to not score goals, but he's done that a couple times recently. Actually, he scored this week.
He's getting points.
He's putting up points. And he's doing a lot of. He's playing the game the right way, doing a lot of good things. Kerfoot, we've liked Kerfoot. I think I've liked Kerfoot.
I've liked Kerfoot.
He gets hit a lot.
Engvall,
he gets bounced around.
Engvall looks smooth as fuck skating out there.
Yeah, I haven't loved Engvall, but I know there's been reports that the coaching staff just publicly called out Engvall previous.
Nice.
And saying, hey, you need to do better. And he's
like, okay, I will.
More opportunities. But in the next week, and with all these injuries, I can see Galchenyuk getting in the lineup.
I think he will.
Ian, what do you think? Is he going to be? He's going to be playing?
By
the time we record another podcast?
Yeah. Depends how long Hyman and Thornton are out for.
Weather.
Yeah. So you got the numbers in front of you.
Yeah. So he's had a couple of 50-point seasons.
This is Galchenyuk.
Yeah. But he's generally around a 50-point player. He had one season, he had 51 points, but he was minus 31 that year.
When's the last time he had a 50-point season?
It was 2017, 2018. And then the next year he got traded to Arizona. He played 72 games and had 41 points, which isn't bad.
That's not.
He's 19 and 22. He's more of a goal scorer as well.
Yeah.
Which I feel like the Leafs need a little more other than Austin Matthews and Tavares.
The media's been crying over the second line not producing recently.
Yeah.
The third line actually didn't look too bad with Hyman on that third line as well. I thought that was solid.
Good.
Yeah.
Solid.
You put Hyman on a line and he just makes it work. Because he's doing all the work.
He is doing all the work.
Yeah, that's give me the puck, boys.
Yeah. But it's not even give me the puck. Go put it somewhere and I'll go get it for you.
It's good to have that option too, man. Good to have that option as well. Yeah, Galchenyuk is and how many teams in the past 5 years? Montreal, Arizona, Pittsburgh?
Yeah, Pittsburgh last year.
You forgot he was on Pittsburgh.
He only played 45 games.
Minnesota and Ottawa. Jeez.
He was on Minnesota? Oh, yeah, he was. Shit.
He's collecting all the jerseys. Collecting all the uniforms.
I wonder if he had to give his back in Arizona.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
took his number off and
shots fired. I think there's just so much big expectations being he was third overall in the Morgan Rielly draft.
Yeah.
The Nail Yakupov draft that Brian Burke would just tells you it's the Morgan Rielly draft, which it is at this point in time. But is he gonna get in the lineup?
Why not?
Injury bugs hitting now.
At least just
this
give
is
him
when
a
you're
game.
testing the depth.
Why not? Why not?
Yeah, give him a game.
Yeah, Kyle Dubas went out and signed 5, 6, 7 forward lines. Let's see the depth now.
Yeah.
And I know it sucks that tons of these guys are injured. Your 2 free agent
This
signings.
is why you have them, though.
That's exactly why you have them. That's exactly why we went and got the depth. And famously, Elliot Friedman wrote that winger name down on a piece of paper. Everyone's been talking about it, and I don't think that name was Alex Galchenyuk. So it's somebody else. So maybe he has somebody else in mind. Not that the trade deadline's, it's still a little. Still
When
over
is
a
the
month
trade
away.
deadline? Late April?
No, it's April 12th. I think we said last time. It's in our Discord chat. If you want.
Yeah.
I think it's April. I don't think they'd move it either. Even if they have to push the season back a little or just make up games or something like that, I'm pretty sure the trade deadline would stay where it is. But Alex Galchenyuk would not be that name that he wrote down. That's just a depth piece. Maybe he's a Marley. Maybe he's taxi squad. But
Marlies have been doing good to start the season.
They've been on fire.
Yeah, that goalie they got down there is doing good too.
What's his? I don't even
know his name, but I just read that. I think he's just been doing well. I just scrolling through Twitter and I see it.
Well, it was supposed to be Hutchison. And then an injury and waivers.
Yeah, I'm just saying, good for the Marlies do good to start the season.
Oh yeah, because Dell got picked up by Carolina.
Jersey.
Yeah, he got claimed. Hey, a player that nobody has been talking about.
VC?
I don't say nobody's been talking about this player, but he's tied for second in the league in scoring, and all the talk's about Austin Matthews,
Mitch Marner,
Jason Spezza.
Jason Spezza is also a player. He does play. Mitch Marner has 30 points in 19 games. He is on pace for 88 points this season. I can't remember which podcast it was that Ian said if Marner gets a certain number of points, he's going to buy a jersey. And
no, you guys said I would buy a jersey if he gets a certain amount of points. And you asked me what amount of points it would need to be. And I think I said 90 or 100.
I think was it 90? 90 rings a bell.
I want to
go back.
It was a lot of points. And he's close to that. And I'm worried. I don't want to spend the money.
Worried. Okay, so
donate it to a children's hospital or something.
Fuck, give me it. I'll wear it. Although
you are children.
Although it is weird to wear a player's jersey that's significantly younger than you. That's kind of weird.
There's gonna be no players, Greg. You can almost wear nobody in NHL's jersey.
So, yeah, but significantly. I just think it's okay, no, but
you have a Rielly jersey. He's younger than you by at least 5.
Not by a decade or 2.
Yeah, okay.
But isn't it old men, 60-year-old guys with
wearing a
Marner jersey? I mean, it's cool. Don't get me wrong. But
I know what you're saying, but
there's also
you're still a fan.
They're a fan. Yeah, who cares? Whereas an old man, not just old men, old women, old fans, anybody. We're not judging by age, but a lot of them would wear a Sittler jersey.
My dad still wears his old school jerseys.
Or they'll get a new jersey and they'll get Gilmore on it.
Yeah.
Or they'll get
the guy they watched.
They watched.
Well,
yeah.
that's what I did. I got the one Winter Classic Red Wings jersey and put Yzerman on it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, that was the same. I got the same one with Morgan Rielly.
Yeah.
By the way, I've not seen another jersey like that with Morgan Rielly on it.
No, everyone else had different guys on it back then.
He was 18. He wasn't. Okay, I'll tell you the quick story about that jersey. It was a Christmas present from my parents that they said, just go buy it yourself. We'll wrap it and whatever. I went to Real Sports downtown, right across from Air Canada Center at the time. And we went into the computer to pick the jersey because jerseys were everywhere because they were selling them because that was the year of the big house.
Yeah.
Outdoor game. So they had all the jerseys, Bozak, Kessel, Bernier, whatever.
JVR.
Lupul maybe. didn't have
enough.
I was like, I don't want any of these guys. I want
Who was
like
the goalie
none of these
back
guys
then?
are gonna Bernier.
Oh,
I didn't want maybe Reimer as well. Reimer. Bernier. I'm like, none of these guys have any longevity. I need a jersey that's gonna last me like a decade. So I'm like, okay, like maybe Morgan Rielly, young defenseman. Like they just drafted him. And we went in the system at Real Sports because they didn't have a Morgan Rielly jersey. He wasn't even in the system. Morgan Rielly's name wasn't even in Real Sports' Maple Leaf Sports Entertainment system of like, select this player, like someone on the roster. So the jersey I have, I actually had to like custom make his jersey as if I was making my own jersey.
that's brutal.
At Real Sports.
That's brutal.
And so therefore, if so facto, the only one I've actually seen was a fake.
Oh
I
yeah.
saw it in Buffalo.
God,
I went down to one of the games years back. Went down to Buffalo. I don't know if I wore that. I don't think I wore that jersey. But I I've only seen one like that. It's the original Morgan Rielly from the Big House Winter Classic. So Morgan Rielly as well. Marner. Did I mention 129 point pace over an 82 game season?
I think so.
Okay, so Marner
No,
on
you
fire.
didn't say that. You didn't say that part.
On fire. Leads the league in plus minus, but who cares about plus minus? But if you're leading the league in plus minus, if you're leading a league in a stat,
Plus 17.
that's pretty significant. No? What? And like the next guy on the Leafs, like, figure this one out. Marner's plus 17. Matthews is only like a plus 9.
Yeah. And
What's going on?
Hyman's a plus 9 too.
What's going on? Like, how is Marner out there for so many more?
Even strength goals.
Is Marner
or less.
Is Marner starting to look like an $11 million player?
Yeah.
Well, there
He's
you go.
proven it.
There. Wow. Damn. Good for him.
Good job, Mitchell.
But at the start of the year, if you were going to say the story of the Leafs season is not going to be the guy that's second in the NHL in scoring, you would have been like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Did they trade somebody?
You can't really take away, like, he's getting points because Matthew's putting the puck in the net.
100%.
Yeah, Matthew's averaging a goal per game.
He's got
now.
18
100%.
goals in 18 games. Yes, he's setting them up.
Hey guys,
He had some really nice passes.
I just like going down the rabbit hole that no one else is going down.
Yep.
And everyone's talking about Austin Matthews, so I just wanted to talk about Mitch Marner.
No, it's fine.
Have you seen a guy leave his feet more than Marner? Like just trying to get the puck out of his zone, trying to just dive to block a pass. He does it so often.
I would just hope he doesn't get himself hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think
It's so
he's
reckless.
going to.
It's just so reckless.
Does he? I don't know if he does it recklessly though.
But it's just an accident waiting to happen, in my opinion.
You think so?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Guy catches an edge or something and slides India.
I don't think it really. It's more like in the own zone, like diving for a puck just to poke it out or something. I mean, he's the only guy that does it. That's what I'm just pointing it out because he's the only guy that really does it.
I don't know. It's just when you see people dive. Like, remember Hall made that dive or something earlier in the week and it was just god awful.
Oh, Justin Hall. Yeah,
I just think diving is just like such a last resort of a play that like a lot of the times you don't win doing it.
I just don't think he looks.
But Marner's such a good player. He's not going to do it unless he knows he's going to get the puck.
I think Hall did that in the Montreal game when the guy went backhand. Actually,
Yeah. The
Byron
Halls I don't think
or
is
something.
Marner's less clumsy.
Yeah,
I'd put it that.
Well, he's
way.
a lot better player with the like, hitting the puck and shit like that.
Those hands, killing penalties, doing all the right
But
things.
it's a skill he has that other players don't have.
Absolutely.
Want to talk about their team stats?
Who?
First in the league with goals.
First in goals, first in points.
First power play percentage at 37.5.
Okay, hold on. The Leafs power play percentage is what?
37.5.
Dang.
Damn.
Their shots, actually, they're 22nd in the league in shots. Not even close to the top.
Yeah, the Leafs don't.
They're a bunch of fuck. They're shit. They're not like a hockey team.
They're still averaging 29
fucking
shots.
embarrassing.
You know who I blame? Nylander.
Hitting the posts.
It's Nylander's fault. They're not scoring goals. They're not shooting the puck. Nylander.
They could have like 10 more goals.
You know who they should get in there? Dougie Gilmore. Bring in Dougie. Let's get Dougie. Sorry.
They're second in the league in shooting percentage as well.
Actually, you know what? If you look at their shoot to go along that, Matthews' shooting percentage, I think it's like 25%. It's
24.
Stupid.
I was just looking
Yeah, but
at
the
it.
goals he's scoring, it's like, yeah, whatever. He's going to do that.
That's stupid.
I know 25% is stupid, but the goals he's scoring, you're just like...
Yeah, that's automatic. Yeah,
it's automatic. You're like...
Oh, yeah, that's a goal,
You're not questioning it.
Yeah, that goalie had no chance on that one.
Yeah.
25% shooting percentage. Dang. Yo, that's like a good. That's like not a bad 3-point percentage.
But that doesn't seem like
NBA
out of this world to me the way he's playing right now.
Yeah,
no.
He just
And how
looks
good his
so
shot
good out
is.
there too.
Marner's shooting percentage is high too. I think it's like 19.
19.
It's up there.
19.
Marner's got a couple more luckier goals though. Like Austin Matthews'
Yes.
goals are like
You know who's
he's the only one in the
Hey.
world who's scoring those.
you know whose shooting percentage is stupid?
You know, hey,
Joe Thornton,
what is it?
27%.
Yeah, and isn't Boyd up there too?
Yeah, he's 27 as well.
I mean, those are a little bit more anomalies.
Yeah.
Those are
They
more
both have
anomalies.
11 shots and 3 goals.
Yeah, yeah. And Boyd, first power play point in the NHL.
And like almost
First
20
power play
games
goal.
into the season already. Like
The stats are starting to settle in.
yeah.
These are not.
Like I wouldn't be surprised if it dropped down
Yeah,
to like around
19
20,
games in
but
now.
that's
Sure.
still really
Yeah.
fucking good.
You can. Well, there's teams that hitting the 1/3 mark, so it's no longer. No longer early in the season.
Yeah.
No, these numbers are starting to.
Balance.
It's becoming more a trend as opposed to an anomaly.
Yeah.
They're starting to show what's actually happening. Granted, some teams have played, what we said, one of the teams has played 12 games.
14 or
12,
something.
13, 14 games. So if you're Dallas, New Jersey, Buffalo, okay, fine. But if the Leafs have played...
Sucks they got to make up a lot of games later in the season. That's a lot of back-to-backs.
The Leafs have played how many games? 20?
19. First in the league by 5 points as well.
Want to do some quick math? 19 divided by 56 equals... They are exactly 1/3 of the way
Good
through the season.
maths.
1/3 of the way through the year.
Maths, yo.
You know what's... I got a little bit of beef. Speaking of Morgan Rielly and the jersey that I own,
What do you got beef with now?
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you exactly. People are starting to have rumblings just because Morgan Rielly
Has 16 points in 19 games.
has only 16 points in 19 games. People are like, "Oh, they should trade him."
Are they fucking stupid?
Yes.
9 power play points. Close to 2
What
shots
would the
per
Leafs
game.
look like without Riley?
Still +1. Oh, his face-off percentage is
Do these
fucking
people-
0.
Riley's face
Oh,
on. They
God.
need to trade
Oh,
him
my
right
God.
now. He's
Oh,
so bad at
Jesus
hockey.
Christ, the 0%? Fuck.
Fuck.
Yeah,
Dude, people not realize how like lucky we are to have a number 1 defenseman?
like an actual number 1.
Yeah.
No.
Like these things are harder
We
to
have
get than
good
centers.
things. We have a nice thing. Let's
Fuck.
trade it.
Yeah, you fucking moron.
Just like Riley looked
Anything you trade
unreal
for Riley,
against
you're not going to win. You
Columbus.
lose that trade no matter what.
He hasn't had to look unreal. He just looks, man, he kind of looks like a defenseman. He has 1 or 2 goals that have been his
That's
fault.
because he doesn't know how to hit the fuck. Oh, I thought you said goals in general, but I was going to say Riley doesn't know how to hit the net when he shoots.
Well, he has 2 goals this year, I
Yeah.
think. But that's not his job.
Yeah, I know,
really,
but
to shoot the
I thought
puck.
you were going to the spot where goals. But
No.
yeah, he might have been his fault for maybe 1 or 2.
Why? Hey, Morgan, pass the guy that has a 25% shooting percentage on this season.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's
Okay,
what I
Kyle,
mean.
whatever you say, man.
Yeah.
Or give it to the guy that's going to pass to him.
Hey, give it to Mitchell.
They also
Marner.
don't play a lot. Like I noticed when that first line's on the ice, the first D pair isn't out there a
Why do
lot
you need
with
it
them.
out there?
I know, but like I
Yeah.
noticed that. Like
Matchups.
they generally have the second or third
Yep.
D pair out there with Matthews and Marner.
Yeah. That's a good
Because you're almost like
So, like,
observation.
if-
Ian.
you're
well,
almost wasting Riley if you have him out there. You don't need to be that OP.
If
No.
Riley was out
This
there,
isn't a video
he probably
game.
would have another 5 points or something too, right?
But also, the Leafs could maybe be weaker on the defensive side on the other lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, Riley still leads the team in time on ice, defenseman. He's 23.5 minutes. I believe TJ Brody, Hall, and Muzzin are all in a 21-minute range. And then it just drops down to the other guys, Bogosian, Dermott, and Lettinen, whenever they've played.
Yeah.
But hey,
Bogosian's been looking pretty good too. Like
Yeah,
looking
man.
better and better. I saw him. Who was it against? It was against Montreal. He tried to go end to end, and he almost did. Then he got like the Montreal defenseman kind of grabbed him.
they're like, hey,
You remember his goal last year in the playoffs?
Enough. Yeah.
It resembled that. I'm like, oh, he's going. Oh, he broke the blue line, and then he tries to make the move. Like he put the puck through the defender's legs, and he tried to get around, and the defender kind of like pulled him over.
Yeah. Just
But I was like, oh,
enough of that. Montreal's defense is pretty good. They can do that.
yeah. But I was like, yo, Bogosian's going for it.
I like that though, because it's like, hey, we got another thing in our bag of tricks. It's
Well,
not
the team was
just
changing too, and he's like, well, got nothing
Yeah.
else to do.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, give your team some
Good. At least it's something different than like the, hey, let's do the huge stretch pass.
Or let's just dump it in the corner and give Montreal the puck.
I think the Leafs have looked a lot better this year, and it's just sort of, it's been a quiet. It hasn't been. Last year when Keefe took over, it was all about puck possession. The
Well,
Leafs are
learning a
great.
system too.
They're looking a lot more comfortable with this puck possession style. I was going to bring up TJ Brody. Have you noticed TJ Brody over the past 2 weeks?
No, you don't have
and
to.
it's perfect. That's what a $5 million guy.
I noticed what a stupid number he wears. That's about it.
78?
Yeah.
76, 78?
Something. I was like, why the fuck would you, like, I'm sure there's a reason, or if it's, like, relevant to him or something, and calling it a stupid. I'm like, this just looks so unorthodox on the ice.
It's a tryout number.
Yeah. I was like, what are you wearing?
By the way, you were talking about lineups?
Yeah.
I got that open on Daily Faceoff. They have Boyd on the first line tonight.
Oh, there you go.
And Kerfoot playing with Tavares and Nylander.
That doesn't change.
And then you got Engvall centering Mikheyev and VC.
Okay, so that's back to normal.
And then Spezza is centering...
Barabanov?
Yeah, Barbarian and Nick Patan.
That's really... So they're basically using the lineup they ran last week, but they're moving... They're slotting Barabanov in Boyd's spot in the fourth line and moving Boyd up to the first line.
I don't know if this is actually what it's going to be, but they have the first power play unit with their 4 guys with Rielly.
Yeah?
I don't know if they're going to do that or not.
Yeah. Why wouldn't they?
Well, just because they haven't. Like Tavares, Nylander, Matthews, and Marner, they're loading up.
I understand. Yeah. Well, yeah, because they've had Simmons or...
Yeah, you just run him out there for Thornton. 2 minutes.
Well, Boyd's been on there. Boyd's gotten a thing. Patan sometimes will do power play.
Yeah.
Yeah. But... Again, with the Leafs and with Sheldon Keefe, you can't really look at the lines that are tweeted out ahead of the game and expect them to be...
No.
Like, Babcock was religious with his lines. Like,
yeah,
he'd carve them
they'll
in
change
stone.
it when they feel like it.
He'd put the stone in the middle of the dressing room, and the stone would be there for eternity.
Keefe is like, who's going for me today that I'm going to jump up and give extra ice time? The guy who's going is getting the extra ice time with Matthews when Thornton wants to sit.
Yeah, I love it, because as a fan, you have to pay attention. You're noticing their lineup and their puck possession, but you're also noticing their lineup shift to shift.
And he's not ignorant to players who are having a good game.
Man, hey, we talked about
That's what drove me nuts.
The Marner to Nylander switch against Ottawa, just to get different, for the third period, just to get a different
mix
look.
it up.
Just as one example that he does it, and they don't always catch it on the broadcast because there's other things on the broadcast that they're mentioning. They're also the broadcasters, so some of them are better than others, but they try.
Well, a lot of the time they could just be thinking it's a line change too.
It's a line change,
they're at the same time.
But notice it, there's a lot, and defense as well. A lot of different combinations that they're not always on the ice as they're tweeted out ahead of the game. So just just interesting things to watch if you're watching the game versus sitting in front of the TV with a beer and the game's on.
Yeah.
They're sort of two different, and there's no problem doing the second one because it's good to just turn your brain off and watch sports.
Yep.
But if you're actually watching, hey.
Well, like you watch the goalies. I don't watch goalies
sometimes,
like that
not all
at
the time.
all.
Oh yeah, like the Leaf and Sens games. I did not watch them at all. I was like, all right, these games are like, they're so uninteresting because Ottawa's so bad and the Leafs are playing down to Ottawa the whole fucking time.
They played 3 different games.
Yeah, I was like, okay, this is
within each game. Yeah,
I was like, this is not the Leafs at all. And then you watch them against Montreal. That looked like Toronto.
Okay, Ottawa, that first Ottawa game, right before they blew the lead, they scored their 5th goal, and then it looked like they stopped trying. And then
Ottawa got one right at the end of the period.
Yeah.
Matthews didn't even selly.
Okay, he
does not even doing that anymore.
At the start of the show, I mentioned Joe Bowen, the Leafs play-by-play guy. If you're not in the Leafs region, you don't know who Joe Bowen is, but you can find his calls on the internet. He's a huge Leafs homer. Leaf fans love him, but you wouldn't listen to him if you're not a Leaf fan. He's the Leafs local radio guy. He mentioned that it's on and off Matthews' stick. The puck is so fast that he can't say Matthews shoots. It just says, Marner over the scores! Holy Macadam! Austin Matthews! That's him. So he doesn't have, it's on and off his stick so fast that he doesn't have a chance to
say his name before
Matthews.
He shoots.
Yeah.
At the same time, is Austin Matthews trolling the guy that's doing the horn in the arena? Because they doesn't even selly. Like the one goal, he brought the puck from behind the net and slid it in, stuffed it in from the side of the net so fast, didn't even selly. There was a 2-second delay.
The announcers didn't even
Nobody knew what was going on.
I knew it was in.
Yeah, well, if you were watching carefully, you knew it was in.
That was a beautiful pass by Marner.
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Like it's nobody knew what was going on. Is he trolling? Is he trolling the in-arena people? Is he trolling us? Or is he just like...
doesn't care anymore. He's like, it's just another day on the job.
Another goal.
Unless someone fires him up, that's when he'll start selling
Joe
again.
Thornton.
Yeah. No, I mean like someone on the other team. Someone goes after him, he'll sell his goals.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's just been so funny watching them. It's like, oh, fuck.
another one.
Yeah.
Another
Hey,
one. And
guys, guess who scored?
Yeah. Austin. Good for him. Anything else, guys, on the Leafs? Anything else around the league just before we wrap up?
No.
Okay.
No, hopefully nobody else gets sick.
Oh,
Yeah.
sick. Yeah.
Need less COVID.
I think the Flyers are the only team left that aren't playing right now.
Is it?
That are on the protocol list.
On the right. Yeah, they got some players on protocol list. It sucked that they had to play the outdoor game with.
Sucks they had to play. I get they had to play the outdoor game. I'm more upset that they had to play that game against New Jersey. I mean, New York Rangers.
The Rangers, yeah. They got more than a handful of guys out, and they're significant players too.
Yeah.
So, hey, it'll be an interesting week as always. Hey, in the last minute here, we got 1 week to go before MLB
preseason,
February 28th.
8th Sunday.
So hopefully it's on radio or TV because, like
Blue
you
Jays,
said,
Yankees.
The ball and the glove sound, the bat hitting the ball sound, the
umpire fucking calling you out looking.
Something, just all of those things just warms you up a little bit inside.
Well, we won't be able to see Gibby get tossed, but...
Is it a baseball season?
Montoyo does get heated, though, when he gets tossed.
I love
it. It takes a lot to get him tossed, too.
A lot to get him fired up. Especially with the reviewed calls and everything like that. But we're looking forward to that stuff. Amidst all of the hockey things and the curling things, like we said at the start of the show.
What time is it?
Baseball. We'll keep an eye out. So, guys, thanks for listening.
Fuck's sake, DeRozan's injured now.
Follow us on all the on the social medias and whatnot. Reach out to us. Hey, let us know if you have any questions or anything you want us to talk about. We can do that too. Until next time, guys. Draft In Podcast. Cheers.
Thanks for listening. Follow us on Twitter @DraftInHand.